Coletco for Tuesday night's live Facebook record sale. When you're on and watching, please let me know by saying hi, hello, or any other form of acknowledgement so I know that you're watching, and that will be absolutely fantastic to know that we are currently streaming live. I got to go plug in our Ethernet connection. I know that right off the bat. Make sure, I want to see that first comment pop up. Mike Massey, you're the winner. Okay, Mike Massey. Now let me go plug in our Ethernet connection. Welcome everybody, Tuesday night. We're starting right at 7. Hope to do that all week and from here on out, as long as I can get here in plenty of time to get everything done. And we've got a great slate of new vinyl lined up for you. I just plugged in our Ethernet connection, so if you just hopped on, it may skip for just a moment. But first thing I'm going to do is start sharing, which I hope you can do the same thing for me. I'd like to see you share. And I would appreciate that. So let me actually go right over here. And there's tonight's live feed. I'm going to start sharing right off the bat. There's our group. I'm going to share it in a couple other different groups that I share in. I've also got this posted in a lot of places tonight. So hopefully we have some new people on and other people that maybe have watched before and are back, and et cetera, et cetera. So let me go over here and find tonight's hot post. For tonight. There it is. I'm going to post here and say we are live now. So this is Tuesday. Let's see here. This is live now. By the way, if you're commenting, I'm actually walking away from the screen for a second, so I won't be able to see comments until I say, all right, I'm ready to look at comments. So whatever you're actually saying right now, I may or may not be able to look at it. I'm going to go turn the air down a few degrees right quick and then probably turn it back up, but right now I'm going to just turn it down a couple degrees. It's quite hot in here to me. Then maybe when it chills down, we can turn it back on. Right now it's just me and Seth. Tanner's on his way. Let me get this posted that we are live now. So let me reply here, live now. And let's go over here and also get it shared on the Instagram. Got a lot of new Instagram followers, so I don't know if those people are on or not, but let me go ahead and hit over here. And we're also streaming on YouTube. So wherever you're watching from, by the way, we are live. We have, let's go right over here to our live feed. There we are, Tuesday. Let me copy that link and let me get it shared on our Instagram story. Tanner is walking in, so he is here. So let me share tonight's hot picture. Where's tonight's hot picture? There's tonight's hot picture. Wow, great stuff. So, okay, don't block me. What did you say? You gotta be careful. I'm like George Steinbrenner. I fire and block, and just like on Seinfeld, erratic. Okay, so let's go here, and I think we're caught up. I think I've got everything shared. Chat, and got to log in there right quick. Yeah, I unlocked it for him. What the heck just happened there? All right, I got to backspace this. Okay, man, I just priced like 4 crates of merchandise since I've been here. John had 5 crates priced. And Paul had 2 priced from last night we didn't get to. Plus, we got 2 entire bins of auctions. Oh, my gosh. Lots of stuff to go through. And then I pulled out about 15 other auctions over here. So, lots of incredible stuff. I've got a whole stack of merchandise here. I've even got books and box sets and all kinds of stuff. We're going to get started pretty much right now. I'm going to go right to it and start showing you some new stuff. This is an all-nighter, yeah. We're going to be having a continuous stream. Tanner's here. Tanner's brought everybody chili. I've got us boxed in here, Tanner. We got 12 crates to go through. 12 crates to go through, yeah. How was my trip to Florida? Excellent. It couldn't be better, actually. The trip couldn't have got even better. I think if Tennessee would have won, it would honestly made the trip much worse. So, or worse. That didn't sound right. So, yeah. I didn't want Tennessee to win, believe me. That would have been awful. That would have been, well, we might not have come out of there alive, honestly. So Was there a Henry Mancini Cop Show themes LP last night? No, there was not. How much are the Megadeths to the left? Megadeths are $44.99. Rust in peace. I have 3 left. I would love to sell you one. Where's my front and center camera at? Right here. Okay, so let me get this adjusted. Let's go ahead and get some auctions started. Why does everything look slightly crooked? Let me try to adjust this right quick. I feel like we're slightly off center. Or how does that look, everybody? Does that look about normal? I don't like this ugly piece of cardboard sticking up, so I'm gonna toss that. I'm all hopped up on energy drinks. I've priced an incredible amount of records since I've been here and other merchandise, so I got big stacks of books everywhere. I've got books priced. I've got box sets. I got box sets on sale. I got DVDs, CDs, autographs, Japanese, bootlegs, imports, promotional, vintage, OG, new, Japanese, German. We even have some Filipino. We have new. We have all kinds of stuff. First thing we're going to do is new vinyl while everybody's hopping on. And if somebody could bring me the piece of paper that's in the printer, I would appreciate it. We got a restock of The Cure, The Show. I've started putting the in front of that because I got tired of saying Cure Show. Didn't sound right. This is The Cure, The Show, remastered by Robert Smith. First time on black vinyl since the 90s, almost 30 years, and those are very expensive. That is $44.99. That is The Cure, The Show, 2 LP black vinyl, $44.99. I have Jeff Beck, Truth. Jeff Beck is $31.99. That is Jeff Beck's legendary 1968 debut featuring Rod Stewart, Ronnie Wood, and Mickey Waller, along with Jimmy Page, John Paul Jones, and Keith Moon. You may have heard those before. $31.99. Jeff Beck, Don Alker wants one, and Jerry Stone wants one. Those are both sold and sold. Your camera's off center tonight. That's what I thought. It's a little bit... let me see if I can do something about that. Maybe tilting it. I'm not quite for sure what's going on. Maybe like that, which is about where it should be, right? Okay, so Jerry Stone and Don Aukler got the Jeff Beck and Jeff Beck. We have Yes, Tales from Yesterday. This is a Yes tribute album. We've sold several of these. I got another copy in. There was a waiting list, Scott Snee. Scott Snee, I have you on a waiting list, and that is $31.99. $31.99. Yes, Tales from Yesterday. Great tribute album. It's on really cool colored vinyl too. I'm sure that's pretty cool. I got to get me one and listen to that. Of course, I'm going to listen to a Yes tribute album. The Who's Next? Half Speed Masters are in. I've only got one extra. The pre-order for that was Jerry Stone, Stephen Chesney, George Buchanan, Jason Walraven, and Brent Robley. I have one extra. This is the Who's Next, $39.99. Everything in this bin right now, Kylie, is buy it now. I'm about to put up some auctions right now. We actually do much different than any other live sale you've ever seen. We do auctions and buy it nows at the same time. So while we're auctioning stuff, we're also buying it now. So 2 auctions in the back, and everything in the crate is first come, first serve. First auction is something I just pulled out of a bin. Aerosmith, specially priced limited edition live maxi single. Darkness, the studio version, and She's on Fire, The Hop, and My Fist, Your Face. That is Aerosmith. This is a $15 start. I know we got a lot of Aerosmith fans. That's a 12-inch single, 4-track live, 3-track live, 1 studio cut, $15 start on Aerosmith. And check out this extremely nice copy of Paul McCartney, Band on the Run. This is where I got this record from my friend I met in Jacksonville at his shop. This is an extremely nice copy. It's a USOG in shrink wrap. This is a $25 start. It even has the poster that originally came with it and the original inner sleeve. I could listen to this album on repeat. Look how nice that is. This is Paul McCartney and Wings, Band on the Run, complete with inner sleeve, poster, shrink wrap, and the hop sticker. If you call that a hop sticker, it just says Paul McCartney and Wings, but that helps you identify who it is. That's a $25 start. There's our first 2 auctions of the night. Back up to the top, so we've already sold the Jeff Becks. We have the Who's, so that's the Abbey Road Half Speed Master. One of the greatest albums of all time. Who's Next? $39.99. I've read the pre-order off for that. We got a restock of Rob Zombie, the Venomous Rat Regeneration Vendor. That is $33.99. Are my comments coming through? I can see your comments. Rob Zombies, $33.99. I have 2 Rob Zombies. I got several Oingo Boingo restocks. I actually was able to secure more of these. So if you can be as specific as possible, this one's hard to be specific on because it's called Boingo, but this is Oingo Boingo, Boy Go, and that is limited in number to 500 on red and silver marbled vinyl, $28.99 on that. So we got 5 of those. I went ahead and saw these in stock, and I know how hard they get, and especially when they go out of stock. Oingo Boingo's $28.99. I've got 1 copy of Albert King, I'll Play the Blues for You. That is $33.99. New and sealed Albert King Playing the Blues for You. So this is all new vinyl right now. We're about to go into some original OG stuff. We got 2 auctions going. This is new stuff here. Steven says he needs to be marked off the Who half-speed master list. So Tanner, we just need to scratch them off this sheet. So that means I've got 2 extra copies. Thank you, Steven, for letting me know. I must have missed that. Okay, so back up to our auctions. The Aerosmith was at 2021, and then Paul McCartney was at 2025. Aerosmith 22, Paul McCartney 30. Aerosmith 25, Paul McCartney 30. Aerosmith 26, Paul McCartney 35. Edward Star Wars wants a Boingo. Sell that to Edward Star Wars. Paul McCartney's at 40. We also have Stone Baronis. Is that how you pronounce that? This was a special request actually from Stephen Chesney, or not Stephen Chesney, Sean Fairweather. It's on ruby red colored vinyl. I only have 1 extra, and we're going to sell that to Mike Massey. Sell that to Mike Massey. And Sean, I've got your name down for 1 already. Sean Fairweather. They are Stone Baronis. If anybody else wants one of those, let me know, and I will order one for you. The other Jeff Beck, this is Blow by Blow. That's another new remaster. That was actually produced by George Martin, $31.99. Final call on a couple of our auctions. The Aerosmith 12-inch single from 1986. That is in near mint condition. Nick Bargeron, Chris Wood Sr. Yes, Chris Wood Sr. has that for $26. That's now a final call. The extremely nice Paul McCartney Band on the Run shrink wrap hop sticker poster inner sleeve is at $42 now with David Williams. Don Aukler takes one of the other Jeff Becks. Sell that to Don Aukler. Also, finally, more of Albert King's Born Under a Bad Sign. I don't have to tell you how hard it is to find original copies of this. They are not easy to find whatsoever. 1 person was on a waiting list. We had it last week. That was Matt Biggs. I've got 2 extra copies. Albert King, Born Under a Bad Sign, $36.99. Nick Bargeron's out, and we have a new bid on Aerosmith at $30. We have Foreigner. That is $31.99. This is called Records. It looks like the tabletop jukebox. This is a really good Foreigner compilation. $31.99. 10 of Foreigner's unforgettable hits. There they are. Head games. Feels like the very first time. Jukebox Hero. Foreigner is $31.99. Mike Cochran wants both Albert Kings. He wants Born Under a Bad Sign, and he wants I'll Play the Blues for You. I'm sold out of that. If anybody else wants one, let me know, and I'll put you on a waiting list. And I have 1 copy left of Born Under a Bad Sign. Born Under a Bad Sign. How many crates of new vinyl? This is the only crate of new stuff. And then, Jerry, I have a box of box sets. They're new and sealed, but they're from a collection. And then I've made a custom bin of new vinyl of stuff y'all haven't seen in a long time. 9 crates of new vintage arrivals. We had 7 or 8 last night, and we only went through 6, and that was me going as fast as possible. So that is their lineup for tonight. So there's Foreigner, $31.99. The other Oingo Boingo, if you want this one, please put Nothing to Fear, and that is limited to 500 on brown and white vinyl. Another very popular, I don't know, I'm getting close to like selling over 50 each of these, $28.99, $28.99. All right, so it looks like we got some final calls now. Chris Wood Sr., let me know if you want back in on Aerosmith, because Michael Nath is at 30, and Paul McCartney, with the other bidder, is out. David Williams is now still the high bidder at 42, and that's now a final call. That's now a final call, so there is that. So Jerry Stone, technically, this is the only crate of new vinyl, and then I've got a box of box sets. I've got a box of other stuff that you hadn't seen in a while. And I did get a restock of the Who's Next, and that's on the Coke bottle clear vinyl. If you pre-ordered this, then everybody got one. I finally got some extras in. And this is, so earlier we had the half-speed master. This is on Coke bottle clear vinyl. It's remastered. It's not half-speed mastered, but it's on colored vinyl. That's on Coke bottle clear vinyl. That's $46.99. The other Oingo Boingo, if you want this one, please comment Good for Your Soul. That's another one, clear and metallic orange, $28.99. I'm glad to have those back in stock. And we did get a restock of Dangerous Toys. This was actually something that was in the bin. I brought it over, and several people wanted one, and I was able to get more. Dangerous Toys, that is Greatest Tricks. Greatest Tricks. And we have 2 left. Cynthia Herdron, Bob Riger, and Nick Bargeron was on a waiting list. All right. So back up to the top, Chris Wood Sr.'s out. Brian Arrigo wants the Who's Half-Speed Master. That was the new release. Brian, if you're a first-time buyer, thank you and welcome. Make sure you message our page. For any first-time buyers, here's how it works. We'll probably have several tonight. If you're a first-time buyer, the most important thing is us getting your contact information, and we do that through Facebook Messenger, and we need your email address and mailing address. If you're watching on YouTube and you're not on Facebook, and nor do you have a Facebook, we will send you a link to our website where you can fill out a form. And let's go ahead and sell Aerosmith. Our first auction of the night is done. The Aerosmith is sold to Michael Nath for $30. And I was going to end Paul McCartney, but Casey Campbell just got a time extensions. Casey Campbell, this is at $42. It's a perfect copy, shrink wrap, hop sticker, original inner sleeve, and the poster. That's at $42 of David Williams. That was about to be sold. 3 people just asked what the current bid was, so that's got about 60 more seconds now. Mike Massey needs to put back the Stone album, Baroness Stone. So let's put that back for him. I got 2 more copies of Dangerous Toys. We did get a restock of the Ozzy Osbourne and Motorhead Hellraiser, $16.99. That's a 10-inch. It's got Ozzy doing Hellraiser, Motorhead doing Hellraiser, and then there's a mashup where it sounds like they're doing it together, $16.99. Dan Triaga and Jerry Stone was on a waiting list for that. I've got 2 extras if anybody wants them. Dangerous Toys is $29.99, purple vinyl. Joe Gabriel wants Ozzy. This is Joe Gabriel on Ozzy, and we have the Chris Cornell Patience. That's a 7-inch single, record store day, white vinyl, Chris Cornell Patience, $16.99. And Chris Cornell, the waiting list for that was Craig Ruth and Ken Highstand. Craig Ruth and Ken Highstand. Joe Gabriel got an Ozzy. Todd Tipton got Dangerous. That's Dangerous Toys. Sell one of those to Todd Tipton. Colin Butler said he'll take the Baroness and scratch Jerry Stone off this waiting list for Hellraiser. So technically, I still got 2 Hellraisers left if anybody wants one of those. I have sold well over 100 of these, and I keep getting them, and I keep selling them. Chris Cornell Patience, that's him covering Guns N' Roses. It's an amazing song. Nobody else bid on this. Band on the Run is sold to David Williams for $42. Next 2 auctions, that was 2 surprises. I've got all the stuff that was in the hot post, 36 auctions posted on Facebook, plus additional surprises, and we're going to start some of those right now, including all the really cool Japanese stuff. I think I'm going to go straight in, though, to a few things that you may not have known was coming up tonight. Let me see if I can find a couple of those right quick, and then we'll get started. Let me see what I've got over here. Yeah, let's go ahead. Actually, these were on Facebook, but I'll go ahead and put them up. There's the Star Wars, and then I pulled some stuff out of the bin just a moment ago. Here's another Talking Heads picture disc, but this one actually has music on it. We had an interview disc last night that no one grabbed. So first, this is the story of Star Wars. Very cool record, dialogue and music from the original motion picture soundtrack. Includes 16-page full-color book. Guess what? It's sealed. It's never been opened. Never been opened. And this record's notorious for being just trashed, where a lot of kids handled it. They played it on kids' record players. They wore it out over and over, laid it on the ground. This is actually a nice sealed copy. There's no saw marks. There's no clip corners. That's a $25 start. The story of Star Wars. $25 start, opening bid on that. And this is also a $25 start. This is Talking Heads, And She Was. That's a picture disc. And She Was, 2 different versions of that, and Perfect World. This is a 3-track, 12-inch picture disc from Little Creatures, also a $25 start on that. So $25 and $25 on that. Let me go back up to the top, make sure I didn't miss anything. We have Dale Shannon says he'll take a Chris Cornell. Nikki Cox is going to take a Foreigner Records. I'm about to recap this bin if you're just hopping on. Fantastic lineup of records tonight. Nikki Cox got a Foreigner. We have Dangerous Toys was $29.99, Brian Ligon. Christopher Morris also takes a Chris Cornell Patience. And we have Star Wars 25, 25, 27, 28, and Star Wars 29. So this was our first crate tonight. We've got like 7 or 9 crates of new arrivals, plus I've got books and other collectibles priced for tonight. Don't let me forget about the David Bowie poster. I got to do that at some point tonight. That's going to be really cool. Don't let me forget about that. So, yeah, let me go through this crate one more time. The Cure, the show, first time on black vinyl since the 90s. $44.99. That's a 2LP, $44.99 for The Cure. Yes, that's a tribute to Yes, Tales from Yesterday. 2LP colored vinyl, $31.99. Rob Zombie, the regeneration vendor. What's this one actually called? The Rob Zombie Venomous Rat Regeneration Vendor, $33.99. That's new and sealed. Also, Boingo. They got a lot of titles that sound very similar, $28.99. Brent Robley wants a Nothing to Fear. If you do want one of these, just comment Nothing to Fear. Limited to 500, brown and white vinyl. That's sold to Brent Robley. We have Jeff Beck, last copy of Blow by Blow. $31.99. Last copy of Born Under a Bad Sign. That is a craft, all analog mastering, original stereo tapes by Jeff Powell. That is $36.99. One copy of Foreigner's Greatest Hits left. That's called Records, $31.99. Oingo Boingo Nothing to Fear, $28.99. And the Who's Next. That is $46.99. $46.99, and that is on Coke bottle clear vinyl. Oingo Boingo Good for Your Soul is $28.99. Dangerous Toys Greatest Tricks is $29.99, and the last copy of Hellraiser $16.99. Actually, I think we've got 2 copies of that. Okay. Let me set this aside and we'll do one of our first crates of new vintage stuff. So if you're watching for the first time or you haven't been on a while, same thing as always. I'm about to show you a crate of new stuff. These are all buy it now. Everything in here, first come, first serve. They are sticker price. I think I'm going to start first with a crate of non-check condition. And that means these are going to be very nice, very clean looking records. And this is a very good crate of records so far. We got like 7 of these tonight. And we're going to keep auctions going all night long. Okay, Patrick Carter says he'll take a Hellraiser. Let me go grab that right quick. So that was a crate of new stuff for tonight, including lots of Oingo Boingo restocks. I've also got a crate of vinyl of stuff you probably hadn't seen in a long time. There's Patrick Carter's Hellraiser. And we have John Leal is the high bidder on Star Wars. This is a sealed copy of The Story of Star Wars, dialogue and music from the original motion picture soundtrack. John Leal has that for $30, going once, going twice. And we have Talking Heads, and She Was. Last call on that if you want to get a bid in. If no one bids for $25, that means I'm about to make it a buy now. So final call if you want to get a bid in on the Talking Heads picture disc. The Abbey Road Half-Speed Master Paul was $39.99. $39.99. I've got Brent. Make sure I didn't miss anything else. And Star Wars we're still bidding on. I've got lots of auctions. So after these 2 get done, we're probably going to move at a much higher pace now that we got everybody on and watching. Everything in here is first come, first serve. There's another copy of The Who. Boy, we've got a lot of these all of a sudden. That's the original label too. Boy, that looks extremely nice. The Who's Next. $34.99. That's a solid looking copy there of the Who's Next. That's an original from '71. $34.99. Soul Train. Wow, John Coltrane. $34.99 on that. This has got a barcode. This is probably some kind of fairly recent reissue. John Coltrane, $34.99 on that. And we have Yes going for the one. Gold Stamp promo has a promo strip. $19.99 for Yes going for the one. I'll put up Bruce Lee right now, actually, because I'm going to make Talking Heads a buy it now. If anybody wants this, it's a $25 buy it now for the Talking Heads picture disc. They're still bidding on Star Wars. High bid is $36, $38, $39, $42, $44. John Stevens gets that very quickly for a $25 buy it now. And Paul Brothers wants a Who Half-Speed Master. Tanner, I don't have one left in the crate, but we can give him Stephen Chesney's. We can give him Stephen Chesney's if you want to make a note. We need to scratch off Jerry Stone, and we can just put Stephen Chesney, scratch that off, and put Paul Brothers. Paul, you got one. Star Wars is at 46, and we have B.B. King in London. B.B. King in London, $24.99. That's on the black ABC level. I'm going to bring my crate of auctions a lot closer to me over here tonight. I'm having to take 10 steps. I'm going to need all these so I can let people know what we have in here, etc., etc. So, yeah, let's go ahead and do the Bruce Lee. We have, incredible stuff here. Let's see here. Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee. This is a 1972 Japanese pressing. This is going to be a $45 start. The vinyl's about VG Plus to EX by Japanese standards. This is Bruce Lee. This is a 1972 Japanese pressing of Fist of Fury, the soundtrack to Fist of Fury. Very cool, very, very cool Japanese pressing. This has no inserts. I'm not for sure if it came with any, but this is a $45 start. Postage to Australia. Yes, for anybody watching internationally, Very easy to buy from us. The way we do international shipping is you bid and buy, and then after we invoice you, you pay your bill for everything at cost. Then we pack your records, and then we'll send you a bill after we got everything packed and you've paid for the cost of postage. Postage internationally is done at cost plus a small handling fee for the box, supplies, and labor. So that's what we do. International shipping. We've got customers in Canada, Europe, South America. We ship at cost plus a small handling fee. So basically, whatever it's going to cost us to get your records, that's what it's going to cost you. So anybody watching internationally, that's how that works. Okay, so Star Wars, 42, 46, 48, now 50. Bruce Lee, 45, another $45 B. Did the SRV in-step pre-order come in? It wasn't in-step, it was sold to soul. Bruce Lee's at 50 and Star Wars is at 51. We have Kiss records every night here. There'll be Kiss records every night. Simple Minds, Sparkle in the Rain, $24.99. Simple Minds, Sparkle in the Rain, $24.99. Elton John, A Single Man. It's a nice looking copy too. We found a nice batch of records somewhere back there. Gatefold, MCA, that's the original label, $19.99. And Gary Wright, I've been listening to him a lot today. This is Touch and Gone. It has a promo sticker on it. Gary Wright is $19.99. I will say I don't think I've seen too many copies of that. That's extremely nice looking vinyl too, with a promo sticker, $19.99. And this is Korn. Wow. Make Me Bad, 2000, pressed in 2000 on yellow vinyl. It looks like a 12-inch single, Make Me Bad, $19.99 for Korn. Special remix versions of Make Me Bad by Phil Steer, Butch Vig, and Josh Abraham. That is $19.99. Okay, Star Wars, 51, 55. Kiss records at some point tonight, yes. Oingo Boingo. George, give me a second and I will let you know. George Buchanan, first on Simple Minds. So George, Simple Minds. Remind me later on Oingo Boingos. William Warback's at 56 on Simple Minds. Wolves Council, you were second, and Patrick Carter wants Korn. Star Wars is at 58, and now we're on a final call on Bruce Lee for $50. That's a final call. Billy Idol, Vital Idol. Billy Idol, $24.99. Now, every record in this bin is EX Plus near mint minus. It's an extremely nice copy. No condition notes. If I'm not saying anything, then it's going to look like this. We've cleaned them, we've inspected them, and it looks like this right here. Very nice vinyl. That's so did Jackie Reynolds. Jackie Reynolds gets that one. Molly Hatchet, Beating the Odds. Shrink wrap and hop sticker. This is also $24.99. It has the original inner sleeve with it as well. Molly Hatchet, Beating the Odds, $24.99. Jackie got Billy Idol. Nick Bargeron was second. George Buchanan third. We're still bidding on Star Wars and Cheap Trick, the classic live concert live at Budokan, Japan. And it has the booklet with it. $24.99 if I can get it out. There's the booklet, $24.99 for Cheap Trick. All right, Jake Rogers, he asked about the Bruce Lee, and he got it. 2 bidders, and that sold to him for $50. Star Wars is at 59. That's between William Warback and John Leal. George Buchanan wants he said, Bud, okay. I guarantee he meant Budokan. The autocorrect got him. That's sold to George Buchanan. Nick Bargeron, you were second. Ultravox Vienna is $19.99. And Marshall Crenshaw, Mary Jean, and 9 others. Marshall Crenshaw is $19.99. It's time for our next auction. Let me go ahead and do something that was on the Facebook page. Which is probably going to be most of the auctions tonight to start off. I'm going to do a very nice copy of the Grateful Dead. I still have not fully learned how to pronounce this title. This is the AOXOMOXOA. Somebody might have to give me the phonics for that. This is technically a reissue because it originally was out on a green Warner Brothers label. This is on the Burbank label. This is a 1974 U.S. pressing reissue, EX Plus to near mint minus. When I say that, that means it's going to be a very nice vinyl. This is actually extremely nice. The Grateful Dead is a $25 start. It has the original Warner Brothers inner sleeve, and the cover is in shrink wrap. It does have a couple tears in the shrink. No damage to the cover itself, though. Grateful Dead is a $25 start. That's a 1974 pressing in shrink wrap near mint minus. Final call on Star Wars. We're at 59. This is a sealed copy of the story of Star Wars, dialogue and music from the original motion picture soundtrack. That is sealed, and the high bid is $59. Roger Ramjet is in on the Grateful Dead. Leo Sayer, Just a Boy. That is sealed. No, it's in shrink wrap of hop sticker. It looked like it was sealed there for a minute. Leo Sayer is $12.99. Santana Amigos has a promo strip on the front, $19.99. I think both other bidders are out on Star Wars, so that's about done. Santana was $19.99. So Star Wars, final call at $59. Seals and Croft, Diamond Girl, $9.99 on Seals and Croft. Diamond Girl, that's $9.99. Jimmy Buffett, Changes in Latitudes, Changes in Attitudes. This has Margaritaville on it, Margaritaville. Jimmy Buffett's $19.99. David Bowie, Aladdin Sane. This is a black label repress of this album or reissue. Extremely nice vinyl though, $34.99 for David Bowie, Aladdin Sane, $34.99. Journey, shrink wrap and hop sticker, $24.99 for Infinity, an extremely nice copy. That is normally something I would auction. Journey is $24.99 for Infinity. All right, we're done on Star Wars. That's sold to William Rohrback for $59. The Grateful Dead has two bids. Both are the same for $25. Roger Ramjet bid $25. James Lester, you also bid $25, but you were second. Brent Robley first to Jimmy Buffett. Joe Gabriel was second. George Buchanan third. Jeff Crowell fourth. Nick Bargeron fifth. David Tate sixth. Calvin Ward first on Journey. John Lill second, and Bryce Culver was third. Great record so far in here. The Beatles, their second album, $26.99. This is on the Purple Capitol label, Near Mint Minus on the vinyl. Extremely nice copy, $26.99. And Till Tuesday, Voices Carry, shrink wrap and hop sticker, $29.99. All right, let's go ahead and do something really cool next. This is actually an autographed record by Todd Rundgren. It's one of his classic albums too, Something Anything. This is actually a 1972 pressing as well. 1972 U.S. Pittman pressing, and it is autographed by Todd Rundgren. It says Todd R, and he usually signed like a big R like that. That's how he signed R, Todd R, 2007. Quick rundown, if you're fairly new to our channel, here's how we've always done autographs. First of all, we've recently bought a major collection of autographs where a guy got to meet a lot of these people where he works security and backstage at a place in Atlanta and in Pittsburgh. We call it the Pittsburgh Collection. If I'm selling you an autograph, then I 100% guarantee it to be real. 100% guarantee it to be real. I have let other people look at it. I've looked at it myself. I've handled a lot of autographs over the years. I'm not going to sell you an autograph if I'm not 99.9% it's real. This is authentic, I guarantee it. If you ever go the extra step and for some reason want to get a reputable company to authenticate it, if you want that sticker on there, if you want that letter of authenticity, and they won't give it to you, then I'll give you your money back, as long as it's within a reasonable amount of time. You know, don't call me in 10 years from now and say they're not authenticating that. If you're going to have it done, make sure you do it pretty soon. But so far, we have had very little autographs from this collection that hadn't checked out. And the ones I'm unsure about, we're about to send them off. We've got about 150 autographs we're about to send off, actually. Ryan Anderson gets Till Tuesday. George Buchanan was second. I don't think I told you a starting bid. $45 start. The record itself is actually really nice. I Saw the Light, classic Todd Rundgren song, $45 start. That is autographed by Todd Rundgren. Sorry about that. I didn't tell you the price on that. Grateful Dead's got a new bid for $28. Multiple bids already on Todd Rundgren. I almost forgot the most important part, the starting bid. Deep Purple, Perfect Stranger, shrink wrap, $32.99. Shrink wrap hop sticker, Deep Purple, Perfect Stranger. Don't get too many copies of that. $32.99. Genesis, and then there were three. There's some cover damage. The spine's pretty chewed up. Genesis is $19.99. The front cover looks immaculate, and so is the vinyl, $19.99. Lots of bids all of a sudden. Grateful Dead, $28. Todd Rundgren, $45. Grateful Dead, $29. Todd Rundgren, $45. Grateful Dead, $35. Todd Rundgren, $55, $60, and $75. Star Trek in 76, $9.99. Star Trek in 76. This is $9.99. That's one of those Ronco compilations. We had one of those last night. Pat Benatar, Tropico. Pat Benatar is $14.99. Pat Benatar, Tropico, $14.99. Sean Holford, first to the Star Trek and compilation. That's so to Sean. Chipmunk Rock, $24.99, featuring Alvin, Simon, and Theodore. That's on RCA. Does have a little bit of a saw mark right there. Chipmunk Rock, $24.99. Todd Rundgren has took off all of a sudden. We was at 85, and now we're at 100. Rich Shockley wants Pat Benatar. I need to do a final call on the Grateful Dead. I've seen two people say out. Roger Ramjet has this for $35. That's in shrink wrap. It's a 72 pressing of Grateful Dead, AO, XO, MO, XO, AO. And Rich Shockley got Pat Benatar. Andrew Hateman is the high bidder on Todd Rundgren right now at 110. Faith, Hope, and Charity. Faith, Hope, and Charity, self-titled, $9.99. Faith, Hope, and Charity. Johnny Cash, Gone Girl, $22.99 for Johnny Cash, Gone Girl. I don't see that one too often. 1978. Johnny Cash, Gone Girl, $22.99. Tina Turner, Shrink Wrap and Hop Sticker, Private Dancer. What's Love Got to Do With It? Rest in Peace, Tina, $27.99. W.C. Fields, the original voice track from his greatest movies. W.C. Fields is $19.99, and America Live. It's got a big Warner Brothers promotional sticker on it. Extremely nice vinyl. That is $12.99. That's America Live. Todd Rundgren, 100, 110, now 125. Grateful Dead is now at 37. Bryce Culver wants Tina Turner, and Christopher Morris, You Were Second. Stephen Stills, Illegal Steals. This is a 1976 white label promo. Has the promo strip and the gold stamp promo. Original inner sleeve. Beautiful copy. White label promo as well. $24.99. Stephen Freyu wants America. That's sold to Stephen. The best of Stephen Stills. This is sealed. It's never been opened. $29.99. It does have a punch hole here. It is sealed. Never been opened. $29.99. All right, the Grateful Dead. Roger Ramjet, please let me know if you want back in, because James Lester has that for $37. Roger's right back in. He's in at $40. And the high bid on Todd Rundgren's $125. If you were bidding and you've decided you're done, please say out. But quick rule, once you say out, you cannot bid again. So you can keep bidding. There's no time limit, but it really helps me move these along if you can let me know when you for sure saying, all right, I'm done bidding. I'm not going any higher than what I've already bid. I'm out. And then we'll figure out who's left, and then I'll do a final call, and then we'll sell it. That's how auctions work. But make sure if you say out, you are done. Ringo Starr, Sentimental Journey, $26.99. Ringo Starr, Sentimental Journey, $26.99. That's on the Apple label. The Who. I will have to say, I don't think I've seen too many hype stickers on The Who that warns about the lyrics. You know, the song Who Are You does have the F-bomb in it. And I don't think I've ever seen one with one of those hype stickers on it. $24.99. He literally says, who the F are you, right in the middle of that song. It does have a clip corner. The Who is $24.99. I've never seen a advisory warning on that either. Grateful Dead's at $40, so James Lester, you're out. We have Christopher Morris on Ringo Starr. Christopher Morris on Ringo Starr. We've sold one other Todd Rundgren. We had an autographed bootleg. We've sold it. I've actually got some other ones tonight, but I'll go ahead and let you know they're personalized. I think this is one of the last few I have that don't actually say to Dale. So I'm going to show some later, but they say to Dale. I don't know how many more I actually have that just say Todd R. I don't think I have any. And of course, this collection's insane. But I have 3 more tonight that actually say to Dale. And I'm going to offer those at a buy it now, or we may even auction them. But just so you know, I do have more, but I don't have many more that say to Dale, unless more come up. With this collection, you never know. There were 6,000 records, so lots more. Christopher Morris got Ringo Starr. Next was Calvin's back in on Todd Rundgren at 135. James out on the Grateful Dead. Final call on the Grateful Dead for 40. Bruce Springsteen, Born to Run. What a nice looking copy. $19.99. There are so many variants of this album. It's incredible how many variants of this album there is. With the John Landau misprint and all that. $19.99. That's a nice looking copy. The Beatles live at the Star Club, Hamburg, Germany. $36.99. And the Beach Boys MIU album has a gold stamp promo. $19.99. Bryce Culver is going to get the Bruce Springsteen, and George Buchanan wants that kind of obscure Johnny Cash album from earlier. That's sold to George Buchanan. Edward Bear. Edward Bear is sealed from 1973, $29.99. So, Brent Ribley, you're back out on Todd Rundgren. Calvin Ward has it for $135, and I'm about to sell the Grateful Dead for $40. Argent, All Together Now. This has their hit song, Hold Your Head Up. Hold Your Head Up. This is Argent, All Together Now. Gold Stamp Promo has their hit song, Hold Your Head Up. That's an original press gatefold, $24.99. Ambrosia, Life Beyond L.A., $9.99 has their hit song, How Much I Feel, $9.99. Brent's at $150. Calvin says he's out. Let's go ahead and sell the Grateful Dead to Roger Ramjet for $40. Final call on Todd Rundgren for $150. I think everybody has said out. Autographed by Todd Rundgren. Like I said, I have a couple more tonight, but they're personalized to Dale. Do we have any Dales watching that are interested in Todd Rundgren autographs? If so, man, or if you know anybody named Dale, you can buy it for them. That's pretty cool. I'm hoping one day I'll buy a collection where somebody's named Chad, and it'll be like a Paul McCartney Sgt. Pepper's. It says to Chad, Paul McCartney, but that's not going to happen. Okay, Jane Fink wants AMB. AMB was Ambrosia. Sell that to Jane Fink. Michael Spalding put Adventure. I bet he meant Ambrosia. Michael, you were second. Jetsteam's third. No, Michael wanted Argent. So Jane got Ambrosia. Michael Spalding got Argent. Those are both sold. The original animals before we were so rudely interrupted. That's $16.99. And Johnny Cash, his greatest hits, Volume 2, shrink wrap and hop sticker, $24.99. Looks like a really nice looking copy. Boy, it is. All right, Todd Rundgren's going to a new home. Sold to Brent Robley for $150. Next couple auctions, we've got incredible stuff tonight. First, let's do a Van Halen album. Van Halen. We're going to do Van Halen, and let's do one of our mini Japanese auctions of the night. We got some really cool Japanese stuff. First is Van Halen OU812. This actually came from one of our Japanese dealers. This is about a VG Plus. I'm not going to call it VG because these marks aren't feelable, but we're going to call it a VG Plus, and this is Van Halen OU812. And we do not get many copies of this. It's actually a 1988 US original VG Plus. It has the original inner sleeve, shrink wrap and hop sticker, $35 start on that. $35 start on that, shrink wrap and hop sticker, Van Halen OU812, $35 start on that. We don't get that one too often. Now, it's never been reissued either, except for the Van Halen box set that's coming out. But if you want an original, that's it. That's a VG Plus too. It's going to sound very good, I promise. That actually came from Japan, but it's a U.S. pressing. Back up to the top, we have Shane Devers on Johnny Cash. Shane Devers on Johnny Cash. That is right here. That's sold to Shane. Van Halen 35, 35, 40, 45, and now 50. Here's a record that I should be keeping. I'll tell you why, because I have never had this one before. I think several people have asked about it. This is Paul McCartney and Wings Wildlife Japanese pressing with Obi. This is a $45 start. $45 start. It's absolutely dead mint, near mint minus and pristine Japanese vinyl. It has the Japanese insert with it and very nice cover. And I'll go ahead and tell you, I've never seen a photograph that clear on this cover. I mean, I've had hundreds and hundreds of copies of this. Look how clear that photograph is. The Japanese pressings are always a higher quality, especially on the jackets. They got the best negatives, the best printing, whatever they did to make these jackets. $45 start. That's Wildlife, and that is from Japan. It's a perfect copy, near mint minus. There's the sleeve. All these records we've cleaned, we've inspected, researched them. They're up for bid. So those are going to be up for bid for a while. I don't think I've missed anything else. Let me do Free, the very best of Free. Paul Rogers, great compilation here, $24.99 featuring All Right Now. Paul Rogers and the best of Free, $24.99. Judy Garland, At Home at the Palace, opening night. Judy Garland is sealed. Sealed Judy Garland, At Home at the Palace. That's live Judy Garland, also known as Judy, let me make sure. Yeah, Dorothy. Yeah, that's Judy Garland. I get Judy Garland and Judy London mixed up sometimes. Judy Garland was Dorothy, of course, Wizard of Oz. Tony Bennett's all-time greatest hits, $19.99. That's a 2LP compilation of Tony Bennett's all-time greatest hits, $19.99. Elton John live, and this is a great one. November 17th, 1970, on the original Uni label. Very nice vinyl and actually a very nice jacket. This one's notorious for ring wear, $34.99. And Cheech and Chong. Cheech and Chong, this is $24.99. Cheech and Chong, $24.99. And their stuff is always instantly gone. It also actually has the original Ode inner sleeve as well. Let me get everybody updated on our auctions because we've had a ton of bids. Van Halen was 35, 35, 40, 40, 45, 50, 50, 52, 60, 55, 55, 60, 75, 80, and Van Halen's at 80. VG Plus copy of OU1812, original, shrink wrap, hop sticker, inner sleeve. Van Halen's at 80. Paul McCartney got an opening bid of 45 with John Lill. Thomas bid 46. John Lill bid 50. Thomas bid 55. Thomas also bid 55. Christopher bid 55. John Leal bid 60. Paul McCartney's at 60 again, 63. George Buchanan wants Elton John. George Buchanan got Elton John. Brian C. got Cheech and Chong. Nick Bargeron was second. Paul McCartney 62. Paul McCartney 65. Paul McCartney 66. So we're still bidding on both auctions. However, I've seen a lot of people say out on Van Halen. So we'll say $80 on Van Halen OU812. Now going once, going twice to Michael Word on Van Halen. Shine On Brightly, Procol Harum, $24.99. This is on the original A&M Records label. That's an extremely nice copy. Nice cover, too. Also a cover known for ring wear. That one has very little, $24.99. John Lennon Mind Games. John Lennon Mind Games, $24.99. That's a green capital reissue of that. Very clean and very nice, though. John Lennon, $24.99. And Seals and Croft, Get Closer, $9.99. Michael Nath, CM over on YouTube, gets Procol Harum. He gets first of that. Boz Scaggs, My Time. Boy, I don't see that one too often. I know we have hundreds of Boz Scaggs albums every month, but don't see My Time too often, $19.99. Leo Sayer, Endless Flight. This has his hit song, You Make Me Feel Like Dancing. It is sealed. It does have a punch hole. That's never been opened, $19.99. Also, David Ruffin from The Temptations, At His Best, has a promo sticker, $19.99. All right, now a final call on Van Halen, $80 to Michael Word. That's about to be sold. They're still bidding on Paul McCartney. Thomas Hujar is the high bidder at $70. Never had that one before. David Johnson was looking for it for like years, asking about it here. We finally got one tonight. It's so nice. I'm going to regret selling it. I'm really impressed by the front of the cover. Diana Ross, last time I saw him, Diana Ross is $9.99, and we have Boz Scaggs, Down Two, Then Left. This is actually a white label promo, $24.99. Ruffin, thank you, Craig and Michael. I can always count on y'all. So Paul McCartney's at 70, and I'm about to end Van Halen. Bryce Culver got DR, that's Diana Ross. This crate had some really good titles. It was plumb full. It looks like half of them are gone. Here's what I'm going to do. I can't read the prices on all of them. I'm just going to breeze through that crate one more time and just read titles. I've got 7 more crates to go through. So if you need anything, just let me know. Price, condition, anything like that. Some of them I'll go ahead and remind you of because I can't believe that this is such a nice copy. An original Decca pressing, near mint, of the Who's Next, $34.99. We also got John Coltrane, yes, going for the one. B.B. King, Elton John, Gary Wright, Molly Hatchet, Ultravox. Incredible stuff here. Marshall Crenshaw, Leo Sayer, Santana, Seals and Croft, David Bowie, The Beatles, Deep Purple, Shrink Wrap and Hype Sticker, Genesis, Chipmunk Rock, Faith, Hope and Charity, and W.C. Fields. All right. Van Halen is sold for $80, and that is to Michael Word, $80 on that. And John Leal's out. Let's do a final call. Thomas Hujar has that for $70, and then I'll put up 2 new auctions. David Ruffin price, $19.99. It has a promo sticker, Motown label, of course, $19.99. Bowie is a black label reissue. It has a barcode on the back, so this was pressed sometime in the 80s. The album originally came out in 1973. It is near mint all the way around, though, $34.99. Colin Butler gets David Ruffin. We have Stephen Stills, the best of Stephen Stills, The Who. We have the Beatles, the Beach Boys, Edward Bear, The Animals, The Best of Free, Judy Garland, Tony Bennett, John Lennon, Seals and Croft, Leo Sayer, Boz Scaggs, and Boz Scaggs. The Who Are You was $24.99, and like I said, it's I've never seen too many that mentions the warning about the F word. Attention, Who Are You? Side 2, Track 4 contains lyrics that may offend. I've never seen that before. $24.99 on that. New bid on Paul McCartney. Henry's Choice is at $71. I was actually just about to sell that. Henry's Choice is at $71. Somebody requested that I go ahead and run the Beatles Magical Mystery Tour. I'll do that right now. And we also got another Japanese pressing I'll put on deck. But right now, they're still bidding on Paul McCartney. So I'm going to put up a new auction. This is actually pressed in 1978 in the United Kingdom. It was actually made to sell here in the United States. It was issued for export to the United States and other countries. This is a $95 start. This is a pristine copy of the Beatles Magical Mystery Tour on yellow vinyl. Look how nice that is. We pulled that out. I was like, whoa, that's not the way it's supposed to be. Also, the cover is immaculate. The booklet's immaculate, and it's attached. This book is notorious for being ripped out. This is a top copy, 78 UK pressing, Magical Mystery Tour. Christopher Morris is already at 100. Thomas says he's out. That was his threshold there. So that $1 bump may have done it for you, Henry's Choice. You now have the high bid on Paul McCartney for 71. That's a final call. William Simmons says he'll take the Who Are You? Joe Gabriel says he'll take David Bowie, Aladdin Sane. So those are both gone. There's the Who to William and Joe Gabriel. I was waiting for a couple of these to sell. Some of these here in the beginning of the crate too, like Yes and John Coltrane and the other Who's next. Let me find whatever I did with that. There it is. That's sold to Joe Gabriel. And Magical Mystery Tours at 100. When I come back, I'm selling that crate, or I'm selling that record right there. I'm going to put this crate right here. That was our first crate of vintage. I do have more new stuff, but the first thing I'm going to show you is a crate from last night that Paul priced that I hadn't got to yet. So let me do this right now. This is a crate of stuff. I think it's check condition stuff that Paul priced last night that I hadn't got to yet. So Christopher is the lone bidder on Magical Mystery Tour for 100. That's a final call. Vinyl EX, Chad. This is a pristine copy on Paul McCartney. It is absolutely pristine. It is near mint minus, actually, and that's sold to Henry's Choice for $71. Final call on Magical Mystery Tour for 100. I've got a whole crate here of new stuff, and I've got our next Japanese record, which I don't think is something we get too often. This is actually a $55 start. This is the Rolling Stones Rewind. Don't get this one too often at all. $55 start, pristine vinyl, the Rolling Stones Rewind. That is a compilation from 71 to 84, Brown Sugar, Start Me Up, Tumbling Dice, etc., etc. There is the original insert, has the original lyric insert, and a pristine cover with Obi. Don't get that one too often, especially with Obi. $55 start. Chad, did you give a price? Troy, I did not check your messages yet, but I promise I'm going to do that tonight. I got to order a lot of new vinyl tonight. I ordered a lot last night, and I only got halfway through my list. So new vinyl pretty much deliveries all this week. We had one crate tonight. We'll have more. We'll have more. Pamela bid 105. And Christopher's right back in at 110. Joe's at 55 on the Stone. So we got bids on both auctions. New vintage arrivals. From the beginning, B.B. King, a 2-record set, EX condition. Now, some of these may be check condition that Paul marked for us yesterday. So if I say the grade, that's the condition, EX. And EX is just below not being in the check condition bin. This is B.B. King from the beginning. It's a 2LP on that original Kent label. That sold very quickly to Michael Nath. Michael Nath. And we have Kicking Mules, Flat Picking Guitar Festival. Kicking Mules is EX 1199. EX 1199 Kicking Mules. This is my first live auction. Just found out about y'all today. When do y'all go live? Is this records or collectibles? We do this every night. Usually just records every night starting at 7 o'clock Central Time here on this page. We're also streaming on YouTube. Sunday, we're actually doing a coin and knife sale, and we'll have some other collectibles. But really, our live streams are just for records. I do have some other stuff. We're going to auction a David Bowie concert poster tonight. You can't see it, but right over here next to me, I've got these huge stacks of books, music-related books. But Sunday, we're actually doing a coin and knife sale. I want to go ahead and let everybody know about that. Sunday at 7 o'clock, we're doing a coin and knife auction, which we deal in case knives. We're a case knife dealer here. We're also a buck knife dealer, where we're also going to have some vintage knives, vintage pocket knives, pre-owned. We've got bullion, like silver and gold coins. We got old coins, like Morgan silver dollars. We're going to have graded stuff. We've got collectible silver, like Star Wars, Batman. And there's actually some Kiss silver coins coming out that I got to let y'all know about. So that's what we do on Sundays. But as far as the Kiss collectibles, I'll explain that one second, because I know there may be some new people watching looking for those. What do we have here? I don't know. It's Rubella, Gallows, Humor, EX condition, $12.99, black metal, no wave. This is black metal, EX condition, $12.99. Crack the Sky, VG Plus, $17.99. This is a Paul crate, so you can expect some variety. 1975 US press, VG Plus, $17.99. Final call, Michael, on the Rolling Stones at $55. Joe Willinger has that for $55. It's a final call. Sorry, I forgot about the Stones. They're still bidding on Magical Mystery Tour. Christopher Morris is at $120. Pamela Yeager, let me know if you're in or out. Sean Fairweather wants the black metal LP. Also, we have Albert King. I'm in a phone booth, baby. EX3199. EX3199. Kiss collection. Yes, I was going to say, we probably have some new people watching. I'd like to thank the admins at Kiss My Collectibles. They allowed me to share our Kiss collection post in their group today, which has like 60,000 Kiss fans and collectors in it. So probably several people are watching from that. We bought this incredible Kiss collection. We always have Kiss records. Like at some point tonight, there's bound to be a Kiss record pop up. But sometime next week, in with our record auctions, we're going to be selling Kiss collectibles at auction. We're going to have auction like records like we always do, but every other night we're probably going to have a bunch of Kiss collectibles. So that is what's going to be going on with the Kiss stuff. So about every night we're going to have Kiss collectibles start next week, at least every night. I've got to get into that stuff next week. But usually between now and then, we have Kiss records pop up every, you just never know with Kiss stuff. Okay, so sorry for that. Just wanted to make some announcements. We have a new bid on Rolling Stones at 58. Pamela also bid 58. Chris bid 56. Magical Mystery Tour, 123. Crack the Sky is embossed, Greg. Yes, it is embossed. Embossed letterings there. VG Plus, $17.99. The Stones at 60. Wolves Council, first to Albert King. Wolves Council, first to Albert King. Magical Mystery Tour is at 130. And Rolling Stones is at 61. So, yes, this is, somebody asked about this. This is the 78 UK pressing of Magical Mystery Tour. It is a top copy, near mint minus, yellow vinyl, beautiful cover. That is from the Pittsburgh collection. I've never seen one as nice as that. And we got 3 bidders still on it. Pamela's at 132. Colin Butler wants Crack the Sky. I'm going to make sure my friend Greg Tape doesn't want it. If Greg passes, then we're going to sell it to Colin Butler. So, Greg, that's up to you. If you pass, that's sold to Colin. The Rolling Stones is at 61, 65, and Patrick is out. Roy Buchanan, this is actually his self-titled album, EX Condition, $17.99. That's on the red Polydor label. But yes, thanks to Jason and the admins at Kiss My Collectibles for allowing me to share my store page in there. I think as soon as I shared that, we jumped like 100 followers all of a sudden. So a lot of people looking forward to the Kiss collection. I haven't got to even touch it. I wasn't there when they bought it. And it's all still boxed up. So I hadn't even got to look at it yet. Okay, this is $124.99. This is a very desirable Eagles record. This is Eagles Hell Freezes Over. And I think this technically may be the OG copy of this because it came out in '94, and this may be the first time it was on vinyl. It's a 1998 UK audiophile pressing, $124.99. Now, there's some writing on the plastic sleeve. I don't know if Paul's tried to take that off. Dale, the original owner of this collection, he made notes sometimes on the plastic sleeves. Sold audiophile. Looks like it sold somewhere at one time for $305, which is probably true. This used to be a $400 record before they reissued it. This is $124.99. That's the Eagles. Christopher's out on Magical Mystery Tour. Michael Weil wants Roy Buchanan. Jetstream was second. Greg Tape is passing on Crack the Sky, so that does go to Colin Butler. And we have Sing Brothers Sing. What does this say? Paul's threw me a curveball here. Wow, this has got a lot of information on it. VG minus $29.99. Plays better than it looks. First 1970 UK press. Like a British version of Captain Beefheart, Paul says he recommends it. VG minus $29.99. That's Sing Brothers Sing. Edgar Broughton Band. I guess that's what that says. Edgar Broughton Band. Thomas Hujar on the Eagles. Let's do some final call on these auctions. The high bid on the Rolling Stones is with Joe Willinger at $65. That's going twice, going 3 times to Joe Willinger. $65. And Magical Mystery Tour, Pamela has that at $132. That's also a final call. So we're about to sell those. And Kylie, I will put up the Rocky Horror Picture Show. That will be put up next. Thomas Hujar says he'll take the Eagles. I've already pulled that. Jeff Johnson was second. Ryan Anderson says he'll take the Sing Brothers Sing. Colin, you were second. Michael's out on the Rolling Stones, but Pamela's back in at 67. Pamela's back in. Soft Machine 7. Wow, I've never seen 7 before. That's EX Condition, $17.99. Soft Machine 7 from 1974. EX Condition, $17.99. Savoy Brown, Hellbound Train. That's a VG copy, $11.99 for Savoy Brown, Hellbound Train. Captain Beyond, Sufficiently Breathless. I love this album. I love that song. EX Condition, $27.99. EX Condition, $27.99. Joe Willinger's back in on the Rolling Stones at $69. Thomas Hujar wants SM, which is Soft Machine. And let's go ahead and sell the Beatles, Magical Mystery Tour. Pamela Yeager, $132. And yes, those looking for metal, we also have an ad running about our big metal night for Thursday. Oh my gosh, get ready for the biggest night possibly of the month. That's Thursday night. It's metal night. And I posted a hot picture. There's going to be 4 times that much. A lot of it we're just going to have to price. That's not Rocky Horror Picture Show. A lot of it we're just going to have to price because there's no way we can run that many auctions in one night. We've got a lot of stuff. Hey, speaking of Kiss, I got a Peter Criss album that we're going to be auctioning earlier. Peter Criss, Out of Control. That's on deck over here. There's a Kiss-related record. Peter Criss, one of his solo records. Rocky Horror Picture Show. This is a $55 start. This is a 1975 Japanese pressing. 1975 Japanese pressing. $55 start. I've never seen one with an obi quite like this. It's really nice. I think this is the OG pressing of this. This is the OG pressing of this. There's the inner sleeve. There's the insert, the original inner sleeve, and very cool cover with an obi. Rocky Horror Picture Show, $55 start. That should be OG 1975 from Japan. It is near mint minus and pristine. So the Rolling Stones was at 69. Brent Robley gets Captain Beefheart. Pamela bid 70 on Rolling Stones. Rolling Stones 72 and Rocky Horror 60. So those are now both getting bid still. Rolling Stones and Rocky Horror Picture Show. Pink Floyd, Uma Guma, VG Plus $39.99. That's a 69 Winchester pressing of Pink Floyd's Uma Guma. 2 LP, $39.99. One side's live, one side is studio. That's the deal with that album. Pink Floyd, Uma Guma. Gina Raven, Urban Desire. Gina is EX Condition, $12.99. And the Rose Garden, that's VG Plus, $12.99. 68 Mono. 68 Mono on the Rose Garden. VG Plus Condition, $12.99. Yes, Metal Night is Thursday. Incredible stuff. I think we've got 40 Iron Maiden records, maybe 50, including picture discs, 12-inch singles, and albums. Incredible batch. Stevie Ray Vaughan, Soul to Soul, EX Condition, $54.99. We sold 2 copies of this last night. Here's another, EX Condition, $54.99 for SRV, Soul to Soul. And Eric Clapton Slowhand, VG Plus, $21.99. Cocaine, Wonderful Tonight, Lay Down Sally, all on side 1. What a way to get an album started. VG Plus, $21.99. And Danny Cox, that looks interesting. EX Condition, $17.99. It's a gatefold on the ABC Dunhill label. Okay, so Rolling Stones was at 72. Rocky Horror was at 56, then 60, and then 65. Pamela bid 75 on the Stones. Joe's at 76. Rick Shockley wants Clapton Slowhand. That's sold to Rich Shockley. What do we have here? That's a wild-looking cover. Michael Wall Street. This is VG Plus $14.99. It's from 2000. It's hip-hop. VG Plus $14.99. That's a interesting cover, to say the least. VG Plus $14.99. Walt Disney, The Story and the Songs of Heidi. EX Condition, $16.99. And Diana Ross, Baby It's Me. I've never seen that one before. First time seeing that one. VG Plus, $9.99 on Diana Ross. Another copy of the Who's Next. This is EX Condition, $31.99. We had a near mint one for $34.99 earlier. Okay, Pamela, let me know if you want back in on the Stones at 76. We're now at a final call on Rocky Horror. Joe Maynard has that for 65. That's a final call. Troy, you were second on Clapton. Fred bid 66. Joe right back in at 70. Troy Robinson wants the Diana Ross. And we have multiple requests for Alan Jackson. Consider Alan on deck. He's in the batter's box. Well, not yet, but he's about to be. Nina Hagen, Zarha Remix. Nina Hagen is EX Condition, $12.99. Pamela's back in on the Stones at 77. Randy Travis, Old 8x10. VG Plus Condition, $19.99. Randy Travis, Old 8x10. VG Plus, $19.99. And Deep Purple Machine Head, VG Condition, $16.99. That's on the second label, Burbank. It is still a gatefold. What was before Heidi? That was the MICT Michael Wall Street. It's a hip-hop record from 2000. VG Plus, $14.99. Okay, we got 2 outs. So final call on Rocky Horror for 70, and final call on the Rolling Stones for 77. Final call for 77. Mike Post wants RT. Mike Post gets RT, which is Randy Travis, and Kelly Cook wants Deep Purple. Kelly Cook gets Deep Purple. Let me get my feedback to normal. A boy named Charlie Brown. That is EX Condition, $24.99. It has a promo sticker actually on it. That's from Columbia Masterworks. That's an original from 69. 1969 Charlie Brown, EX Condition, $24.99. Steppenwolf in shrink wrap, their debut album, Born to Be Wild. What a song. EX Condition, $17.99. Original label, Steppenwolf, EX, $17.99. All right, Rocky Horror Picture Show is sold to Joe Maynard for $70, and Pamela Yeager gets the Stones for $77. Sold and sold, Tanner. Let's go ahead and do the Peter Criss because I had it pulled out. I have a feeling we have a few Kiss fans watching, as usual. And let's go ahead and get one of our really cool bootlegs. So this Pittsburgh collection, you're going to hear me keep referencing, had some incredible bootlegs. Some really, really cool bootlegs. I mean, hundreds, if not thousands, of unofficials and bootlegs. More than I've ever seen. Rare ones that I'll never see again, and you'll never see again. Just incredible stuff. We've done 2 or 3 Blondies last week. Here's another one. This is Blondie Live. This is a 1978 unofficial from Starwood in Los Angeles. I was hoping it would be like Starwood in Nashville, but I don't think Starwood was around in 1978. This is an unofficial. The concert is from April 25th, 1978. The vinyl's EX Plus Near Mint Minus. Blondie is a $35 star. We had a lot of bidders on the Blondies from last week. There's what the back cover looks like. This is a vintage Blondie bootleg from 1978. The concert's from 1978. Very clean vinyl. $35 start. $35 start on that. Okay, the Peter Criss is a 1980 Japanese pressing. Let me get all my notes over here so I can read them. Peter Criss is a 1980 Japanese pressing. This is also a $55 start. Peter Criss, Out of Control, of course. This is a solo album of his on Casablanca. Near Mint Minus vinyl, $55 start. Never had this before. I don't think I've had any version of this album before, to my knowledge. There's the insert. There's the Casablanca solicitation insert. Looks like there's a little bit of a crease right here on the back cover. It's really not noticeable on the front. The crease really isn't through the front, just like on the back panel, really. Very nice cover, though, with Obi. That's up for bid. Peter Criss, Out of Control. Does look like there's a tear in the Obi here. The vinyl is EX to Near Mint Minus. Very nice. EX to Near Mint Minus. It does have the inserts with it. That is OG. That is the OG pressing of that. Let me go back up to the top here. Joe Willinger gets the Charlie Brown record. That's so to Joe Willinger. Next is Stephen A. Young. He gets the Steppenwolf. Justin Malden said, "Roll Tide, roll." Ugh. Justin, I'm glad you could come here and ruin the show for us. Thank you. Fred Carnell. Gina R. for Fred Carnell. That's Gina Raven. That's so to Fred Carnell. Sean bid 55 on Peter Criss. This is the only Blondie boot for tonight. This is the only one tonight. Last week we had 2 or 3. Does this collection have more? Possibly, but right now that's the only one that I've dug out of the back. You've got to understand our back room has like 20, 30, 50, a million records. They're in tubs, they're in crates, and we really don't know what's back there, especially from this most recent purchases. Blondie, no bid yet, looking for a $35 start. That's surprising. I figured that'd already be at like 70 or something. Blondie's a $35 start. Peter Criss is at 58. Back to the bin. The Eurythmics, Would I Lie to You? That's a VG condition, $9.99. Would I Lie to You? It also has, Here Comes That Sinking Feeling. That's VG, $9.99. We have Billy Joel's Greatest Hits. We have Billy Joel's Greatest Hits, VG Plus, $39.99. We sold 2 different copies of this again last night for $55 and $65. This is a VG Plus condition for $39.99. Billy Joel's Greatest Hits and The Human Beings. I listened to this just a moment ago. This is VG Plus $34.99. It's an original 68 Scranton press, and this has their hit song, Nobody But Me. We've all heard it before. The Human Beings, VG Plus condition, $34.99. Okay, Peter Criss was 55, 55, 57, 58. Blondie's at 40. Cynthia Herdren wants the Eurythmics. That's so does Cynthia. Peter Criss, 60. Rich Shockley gets Billy Joel's Greatest Hits. Peter Criss is at 60 again. Bob Riger, 2nd. Darren Meyer, 3rd on Billy Joel. Peter Criss, 62, 62. The Blondie's at $40. I'm going to move this pretty quick if no one else bids. BNR just bid 45, so we got 2 bidders on that now. Great album. I listened to side 1. Great kind of psych rock, 60s mod rock is what I call it. Credence, Bayou Country. This is a 1983 pressing. It has a barcode on the back. VG Plus condition, $17.99. This is CCR Bayou Country. VG Plus condition, $17.99. CCR, a classic. Wow, Superfly, Curtis Mayfield. An original 72 press as well. EX condition, $31.99 on Superfly. It's Curtis Mayfield. Ooh, Van Halen, 5150, 1986 original SRC pressing, EX condition, $39.99. It's an SRC club, $39.99 for Van Halen, 5150. Beautiful vinyl at EX and the original inner sleeve. Dreams. Why can't this be love? EX condition, $39.99. All right, Blondie, 45, then 50. Peter Criss is at 65, now 70. Colin Butler on Superfly. That's sold to Colin Butler. We have Mutiny, featuring Jerome Brayley. Funk Plus the One. Funk Plus the One. That's VG Plus $19.99. It's a white label promo. David Tate takes the Van Halen. Ben R is out on the Blondie, so Mike Massey has this for $50. An original vintage 1978 Blondie live bootleg, 1978 from Starwood in Los Angeles. Another great psych record. Incense and Peppermints, the Strawberry Alarm Clock, VG Plus $21.99. I mean, just look at the cover. And you got Ed King from Leonard Skinner, VG Plus $21.99 for Incense and Peppermints. Wow, now here's a James Gang we don't get too often. Newborn, James Gang, EX condition $21.99, and Trio 65, the Bill Evans Trio, that's an original 65 stereo pressing, Van Gelder, EX $59.99. All right, let's go ahead and wrap up Peter Criss. Joe Gabriel, if you're done bidding, let me know. He's not done bidding. He just bid 72. Joe Gabriel is the high bidder on the Peter Criss Out of Control. $72 of Joe Gabriel, and we're going to go ahead and sell Mike Massey the Blondie boot for $50. That's sold to Mike Massey for $50. We've pulled Fly. We've pulled Van Halen. I will sell King Crimson right now, and is HB mono or stereo. Human Beings is in stereo. Nobody but me. Albert Collins, there's got to be a change. Albert Collins is a 1972 U.S. pressing with the poster, EX condition, $39.99. Peter Criss is at 72, now 74. We've had a request to run the King Crimson. Let me find that. King Crimson, King Crimson. Here's King Crimson in the Court of the Crimson King. This is a 1983 Japanese pressing. Any version of this album is desirable, especially from Japan. This is a $75 start. It is dead mint. Beautiful copy. It's a 1983 Japanese pressing. This album originally came out in 1969. I want you to take a look at the cover. It's laminated. It's like glossy. It's not textured like the other ones. It's like a glossy top cover. Perfect cover, perfect vinyl. In the Court of the Crimson King. Any Japanese pressing of this record is desirable. I do not get very many with the Obi. King Crimson already has a bid for $75. Brent Riley says he'll take the Human Beings. Not much left in this bin. Let me do one quick recap. That's a beautiful copy of King Crimson. A collection essential. That's a collection essential. Joe Gabriel, they're still bidding. I'm just going to let Peter Criss settle on its own means. Very quick recap. We have Kickin' Mules Flat Picking Guitar Festival. Kickin' Mules was EX $11.99. Savoy Brown Hellbound Train, VG $11.99. Pink Floyd Uma Guma, VG Plus $39.99. The Rose Garden is VG Plus $12.99. 68 Mono. Stevie Ray Vaughan Soul to Soul, EX condition $54.99. Danny Cox was EX $17.99. Walt Disney, the book and story record for Heidi, EX condition $16.99. The Who's Next, original Decca pressing, EX $31.99. Nina Hagen, Brad Boland, this was EX condition, $12.99. It looks like it's a 12-inch single, gold stamp promo, EX $12.99. Joe Gabriel's out on Peter Criss. Chris Frazier has that for $77. And that's a final call because it was just between him and Joe. And final call on, I'm going to sell this pretty quick if no one else bids. Going once, going twice. Gary Samuels has King Crimson for $75. We have Brad Boland says he'll take the Nina Hagen. Deep Purple has not sold yet. We have this record, which was a hip-hop record. I'm not for sure actually what it's called. Michael Wall Street. Yeah, Michael Wall Street. VG Plus $14.99. And Creedence Clearwater Revival. Almost said King Clearwater Revival. Creedence Bayou Country 83 Terre Haute. VG Plus $17.99. Michael Wall Street is 2 LPs. Yes, 2 LPs. The catalog number for King Crimson is 25MM0261. 25MM0261. It's the 1983 Japanese. 1983 Japanese. Let's go ahead and sell Peter Criss. The Chris Frazier. Chris gets Chris for $77. Last call on this bin before I bring up some new stuff. Mutiny is a VG Plus $19.99. And Dan says this is a Funkadelic spinoff. Funkadelic spinoff. And it's a white label promo. VG Plus $19.99. Shakedown says he'll take the Michael Wall Street. That's so too. Shakedown. Incense and Peppermints, that's a VG Plus $21.99. James Gang Newborn is EX $21.99. And Trio 65, the Bill Evans Trio, EX Condition $59.99. Albert Collins, there's got to be a change. Somebody would like to know what the poster looks like. I'm curious too. I don't know if I can fold it all out, but I will give you a look at it here. Looks like it's a big, gigantic poster of Albert Collins sitting down holding his guitar. That is with the poster, and that was a 71 original pressing. Brent Rodley's at 80 on King Crimson, so new bid on King Crimson. We officially have 2 bidders on that. Also, who asked about the Albert Collins? Michael Swanger. Let me know if you want this. If you don't, then it's sold to Brent Rodley. King Crimson's at 80. Kiss, Smashes, Thrashes. That is on Thursday. Don't get confused. There is an ad going for Thursday night, Metal Night, with 36 pictures of records. Those will be sold and shown on, those will be shown and sold on Thursday night, along with hundreds of others. Alan Jackson, I hope y'all ready for this one. It's actually sealed. Very tough to get record. His catalog has never been reissued. Some of these were only through the Columbia Record Club and was not issued in stores. This may be one of them. I'm not for sure. I think this one was sold in stores, though. Alan Jackson, Don't Rock the Jukebox, a 1991 U.S. Columbia Record Club, $155 start. It's sealed. Very rare. The original Alan Jackson catalog is tough to get. His stuff was out in the 90s, of course, when vinyl production was low. This is sealed, Alan Jackson, and it's perfectly sealed. Because it's a club, there's no saw marks, no punch holes, no cutouts. $155 on Alan Jackson. Michael Swanger says he will take the, what did he ask about? Michael Swanger, he gets the Albert Collins. Brent, he gets the Albert Collins. King Crimson 81, King Crimson 82, King Crimson 85. I've been through that bin twice. It's time for new stuff. Oh, what did I just do? I knocked my monitor off. There we go. Next thing is, let me do some crate condensing here. Okay, so I've compiled very, very quickly, I've compiled a bin of new vinyl that I'm going to run through extremely fast of stuff that you may not know we had in stock. I haven't shown some of these in a while. But before I do that, I'm going to show you a few books that I priced. I've got Jenga going on over here, so let me show these books. A couple of these collections we've bought literally has hundreds, if not thousands, of publications, original magazines, books, posters, etc., etc. And that is, I'm going to have to just show them throughout the shows like we normally do. For anybody that's a Grateful Dead fan, this is The Water of Life, A Tale of the Grateful Dead, retold by Alan Triss, illustrated by Jim Carpenter. That is $19.99. Some kind of Grateful Dead story, hardback book, $19.99. That is, looks very interesting. It looks like a children's book, The Water of Life, A Tale of the Grateful Dead. That's $19.99. If you wanted these, just comment, just like you're buying records. The Billboard Book of Top 40 Hits, that is $9.99. Look at all that information, all the top 40 hits, 1955 to the present. I have the Beatles, this is the Rolling Stones, illustrated biography, $9.99. The Rolling Stones illustrated biography, lots and lots of cool pictures and captions. Yeah, 200 classic rare and unseen photographs, that's $9.99. Life in Pictures, The Beatles, Life in Pictures, The Beatles, that's $9.99. We also have The Beatles, A Hard Day's Ride, the stories behind every song. Wow. The story behind every Beatles song, $9.99 on that. Also, Octung Baby, these are really cool books. They're called 33 1/3. This is a little mini book about U2's Octung Baby. $8.99. $8.99 for Octung Baby. And Little Blues Book, narrations by R. Crumb, $8.99 on that. Little Blues Book with narrations by R. Crumb, very cool. It's an informational book about blues music, and it's got R. Crumb narrations, $8.99. Okay, Gary Samuels, could you let me know if you're in or out on King Crimson? Because my Brent Robley has the high bid on that at $88. And we have two bids on Alan Jackson. Kevin Hughes bid $155. Misty Wires bid $155. So, Misty, you're out. Kevin has that first on YouTube. And Gary, let me know if you're out on King Crimson. First on the books is Brent Robley gets the Rolling Stones book. He also wants A Hard Day's Right, the story behind every Beatles song. Those are both sold to Brent. And the first to the blues book was Jason Kenton. Jason Kenton got the blues book. Kara was second on the Stones. Ryan, you were second on the Little Blues. Now, Kara, I have one Beatles book left. Kara, I have this one if you want it. Life and Pictures, The Beatles, $9.99. It's a mini hardback book. If you pass it, if you pass, then it's sold to Jack Hewitt, if that's the one Jack Hewitt wanted. Misty's back in on Alan Jackson at $160. Let's go ahead and sell King Crimson for $88 to Brent Robley. And we have Alan Jackson's at $175 to Kevin Hughes. Kara says she will take this one. So this book is sold to Kara. And that leaves the Grateful Dead book. Wow, I'm surprised no one got that. And the Top 40 Hits informational book and the 33 1/3 informational about Octung Baby. I might breeze through that right quick since I may be going to see the Octung Baby anniversary tour. I may need to get up to date. Okay, we got a bidding war all of a sudden on Alan Jackson. Let's do another record from the Pittsburgh collection for the Beatles fans. Look at this. When I first saw this, I was like, whoa. And I knew it was nothing official, but, you know, it just catches your eye. One of the alternate shots from Abbey Road. I actually listened to it, so I've got all kinds of notes on it. This is a 1988 Australian unofficial. It's called Broad Road. It's alternate versions of all the Abbey Road songs. Broad Road. It's all alternate versions. And what that means, by the way, it's a $65 start. And it even has an alternate cover of Abbey Road. It looks like it's a Zealand. The bootleg makes it look like it's an official press from New Zealand, but it's not. It's an 88 Australian press. It is near mint minus at $65 start. But for example, like Here Comes the Sun, I'm pretty sure that's the live version from Saturday Night Live with Paul Simon and George Harrison. Because it's definitely a live cut, and of course the Beatles never played that song live anywhere. And I believe it's from Saturday Night Live. But like You Never Give Me Your Money, it's definitely an alternate version. It has an extended guitar solo. Mean Mr. Mustard has different lyrics. Very interesting to listen to. So that's called Broad Road, alternate versions of Abbey Road songs. It's a 1988 Australian unofficial, $65 start for that. Alan Jackson was at $180, $185, and Jake Zerbel says he'll take that Grateful Dead book, The Water of Life. That's sold to Jake Zerbel. Thank you. I figured there was at least one Dead fan that would want that. So here's a few new LPs in stock that we have. Jimi Hendrix, Electric Ladyland. A reason I pulled this off the shelf is I can't remember the last time I had one of these, an OG copy. For some reason, copies, especially nice copies of Electric Ladyland, never comes in. This is actually pressed at QRP, 2LP for $28.99. I think Jimi Hendrix catalog is the best deal on vinyl. Such good deals. 2 LPs, Jimi Hendrix, Electric Ladyland, $28.99. I got 2 copies. Pink Floyd, a fantastic sounding record. Delicate Sound of Thunder, 2 LP, live Pink Floyd, 1988. This is amazing. $49.99. The Delicate Sound of Thunder, live Pink Floyd. I only have 2 of those left. $49.99. And AC/DC. A tough OG to find because it came out in 1990. Of course, it has Thunderstruck on it. First track, that is $31.99. AC/DC, The Razor's Edge. I've got 3 copies of those in stock. Okay, we have Alan Jackson, $180, $185. Brent bid 65 on the Beatles. Thomas also bid 65. Misty bid 190 on Alan Jackson. Thomas bid 70 on the Beatles. The first couple claims on Hendrix goes to Toby Grimm. Kevin Hughes bid 195 on Alan Jackson. Steve Henry also gets a Jimi Hendrix. Cynthia gets an AC/DC, and Misty's at 200 on Alan Jackson. So we got AC/DC, we got Pink Floyd. I've got 2 copies of Funkadelic, Free Your Mind, and your ASS will follow. And that's on blue vinyl. It's a 50th anniversary edition, $36.99 for Funkadelic. Free Your Mind on blue vinyl, $36.99. I grabbed a Rush record off the shelf. A song on here came on the other day on my shuffle when I was driving. My favorite Rush album, Hold Your Fire, $36.99. I think it was Prime Mover. I think it was Prime Mover that came on, but people call me crazy. But one of my favorite Rush albums, 180-gram remaster. OGs are hard to find. We auctioned one off the other night for over $100. This is nice. Sealed. They sound great. $36.99. I've got about 30 of those in stock, so I've got plenty. The Beatles is at 75, now 80. Misty bid 200 on Alan Jackson. When did my Jimmy come in? Ryan Christie was actually first to Jimi Hendrix, Tanner. Ryan Christie got a Jimi Hendrix. Toby Grimm got a Jimi Hendrix. And Steve Henry, I may have more of those. If it's okay, I'll just put down your name. I'll make sure I get you one, all right? So put down Steve Henry as third on a waiting list. And Steve, I'm pretty sure I've got more of those around here somewhere. I'll always keep those in stock. Back down to the bottom, the Beatles is at 85. Do I still have the new Cake albums? I do. Cake is $29.99. Chase Arnold wants Funkadelic. And we have Steve Henry on Rush. Steve Henry on Rush. And he said okay on the waiting list. The Beatles is at 88, and Alan Jackson's at 200. Kevin Hughes says he's out. This is sealed Alan Jackson, Don't Rock the Jukebox from 1991. 1991. Put Bob Potato Sticks down for a cake. Bob Potato Sticks down for a cake. Those are over there behind the counter. Bob, I've got those in stock. Okay, Shinedown on white vinyl. Shinedown, The Sound of Madness on white vinyl, $36.99. I've got 2 of those available. Hadn't shown those in a while. And I haven't shown any Savatage records. There for a while, I think I sold 20 copies of every Savatage record in 1 week. This is The Wake of Magellan. Look at this lenticular cover. It looks like the pirate ship is moving. That's on orange vinyl. It's 2 LP, orange vinyl, gatefold with book, lenticular cover, $56.99. Brent Robley's at $90. If you're curious what's up for bid, we have the Beatles, Broad Road. This is an 88 Australian, and that was so surreal to hear that Here Comes the Sun. And I'm pretty sure that's Paul Simon and George Harrison. They did Saturday Night Live together, and it's some of the best recordings. They do Homeward Bound. George Harrison starts singing, and it's like, wow. And then they do Here Comes the Sun, and him and Paul Simon take turns on the verses. Incredible to listen to. It's very hard to find high-quality footage of it. There's some very grainy footage on YouTube, but hope one day they do some kind of remastering for those old Saturday Night Live performances. Craig Ruth on Shinedown. That's sold to Craig Ruth. Savatage is $56.99. David Lee Roth, the only copy I have, it's a Friday Music audiophile pressing of Skyscraper. Only copy I have, $44.99. Steely Dan remastered Can't Buy a Thrill, one of the OG greatest albums of all time, in my opinion, at least top 50. Do It Again, Dirty Work, Kings, Midnight Cruiser. Only a fool would say that. What a great song. Of course, Reeling in the Years, Brooklyn, Change of the Guard, Turn That Heartbeat Over Again. Wow. $36.99. How much was Shinedown? Shinedown is on white vinyl, $36.99. I have 1 left. Social Distortion from Music on Vinyl. Only 1 copy left. Social Distortion, $44.99. All right, Alan Jackson is sold to Misty Wires. She gets another Grail record. Very, very high quality stuff there. That is sold for $200. Okay, the Beatles still got bidding going on for that. 95 with Thomas, 100 with Brent. By the way, you can't sell this on Discogs or eBay. It's banned. You can't list that on eBay. You can't list it on Discogs. If you can, I know you can on Discogs. Sometimes you can slip them through on eBay, but they're actually not allowed. Ryan Christie, let me know if you do want that Shinedown, because if you pass, Michael Sprouting's going to get it. Thomas is at 105 on the Beatles. Thomas is in on the Beatles at 105. So we got a Pittsburgh record up. Let's go ahead and bring something over from our Japanese. This is a $45 start. It's a perfect copy of Deep Purple Burn. What a beautiful copy. 1976. Look at the gloss. No ring wear. These Japanese pressings are incredible. $45 start for Deep Purple Burn. And this is near mint all the way around. It has the inner sleeve. It has the obi. It's a perfect copy. That's a $45 start. So Michael Sprouting does get the last Shinedown because Ryan Christie passed, but Ryan Christie does want the greatest tricks. Dangerous Toys. Let me go ahead and pull that before we forget. This is Dangerous Toys, Greatest Tricks, my last copy. If anybody else wants one, let me know. This is called The Beatles' Broad Road. Broad Road. It's alternate versions of Abbey Road songs. Some of them are live, or at least a couple of them were live, but most of them were studio outtakes on side 2. You Never Get Me No Money was really cool. It had this long, drawn-out guitar solo. 2 bids on Deep Purple, Social Distortion. We also have Soul Asylum, Grave Dancers Union. That's a 30th anniversary, limited and numbered black and gold vinyl. That's on colored vinyl, $38.99. $38.99. Cynthia wants on the Dangerous Toys waiting list. Smashing Pumpkins Unplugged. This is a unofficial, it's a bootleg, $39.99. Pure acoustic, Smashing Pumpkins Unplugged, $39.99. Deep Purple, 45, 48. 45, 45, 48 now, 50. Clay Moore wants Social Distortion, and David Chilcote wants Soul Asylum. Sarah Long wants Smashing Pumpkins. Only copy of that I have. That's sold to Sarah Long. I'm going to give this a little bit more time. It looks like Thomas is researching the Beatles. That's perfectly okay. It's a 1988 Australian unofficial, The Beatles' Broad Road. High bid right now is $125 with Brent Ribley. That's going once, going twice. We'll wait for Thomas unless somebody else bids. Let's put Autumn bets. Autumn, I haven't tried to order these in a while. If you want on a waiting list, I definitely need to keep these in stock. So Autumn, let me know if you want on a waiting list for Smashing Pumpkins Unplugged. We now have a bid of $60 on Deep Purple. Thomas is back in on the Beatles at $130. The Soul Asylum, Todd, I've got 1 copy still left. Soul Asylum, I've got 1 copy left if you want it. Grave Dancers Union. Slipknot, Iowa. This is on Coke bottle. Green vinyl. Almost said clear. It is kind of clear, but it's more so green. Iowa by Slipknot, $36.99. $36.99. And Todd says he'll take it. Soul Asylum is $38.99. I have more of these. Grave Dancers Union, $38.99. If you want one, just let me know. Slipknot and Jailbreak, Thin Lizzy, featuring The Boys Are Back in Town, $36.99. One of my favorite songs of all time. The Boys Are Back in Town. Okay, Brent's out on the Beatles, so Thomas, it looks like you may be golden at $130. Golden Slumbers, the Beatles, that's a track on that song, or on that album. $130 of Thomas Hujar. Final call, Brent's out. High bid on Deep Purple is with Jared Benoit at $60. Going once, going twice. Jailbreak. We also have TLC, Crazy Sexy Cool. TLC is $36.99. Tears for Fears, The Seeds of Love, $36.99 for Tears for Fears. Tenacious D, The Pick of Destiny, $31.99. And Whiplash. Whiplash Ticket to Mayhem is $46.99, limited to 1,000 on green vinyl. They're numbered on the back. This is numbered 64. Wow. And $369. Whiplash is $46.99. Megadeth. This is Megadeth, Rust in Peace. This is the newest 2023 repress. 2023 repress, $44.99 on that. Cynthia wants Tears for Fears. Chase Arnold wants TLC. Thin Lizzy was $36.99. Thin Lizzy's $36.99. Whiplash and Wasp, Inside the Electric Circus, $39.99. All right, the Beatles is sold to Thomas Hujar for $130. Jared gets Deep Purple for $60. Let me make sure. Yep. Jared gets Deep Purple for $60. Chase Arnold wants to put back TLC, so Tanner, I'm putting that back in the bin. Let me put up 2 new auctions. Let's see what I've got here. The Grateful Dead, David Bowie, David Bowie, David Bowie. Aerosmith, David Bowie, Leon Russell, Grateful Dead. The Beatles, Yes. Here's some stuff that may be buy it nows later. Then we get to Elton John, The Black Crowes, Billy Idol, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Grand Funk, Public Enemy, Tom Petty, another Alan Jackson, Travis Tritt, Elton John, Peter Gabriel, Journey, Alan Parsons Project, and Ace Frehley. Let's do him next. Ace Frehley is in EX Plus condition. Not quite near mint minus, but very close. This actually came from Japan. This came from Japan, but it's a U.S. pressing, 1987 OG. This is going to be a $35 start for Ace Frehley. Frehley's Comet. There's the original inner sleeve. Ace Frehley, Frehley's Comet, 87 US. That's not Japanese, but it came from Japan. $35 start on that. It has the original inner sleeve. Ace is at 35. That album's actually not in print, which is really surprising. Sarah would like me to run the Black Crows. All right, I'll do it. This is the Black Crows Shake Your Moneymaker, a 1990 UK pressing. This is going to be a $105 start, 105. It's a 1990 UK pressing. It has the original inner sleeve. The vinyl is a strong VG+. Strong VG+ on this one. Some may even say EX. We'll call it VG+. We'll call it VG+. Looks like there's like some hairlines around the outer edge. So we'll call it VG+ to be on the safe side. But that is OG from the UK. That is OG from the UK. It has the original inner sleeve, the Black Crows. What an amazing, one of the best debut albums of all time. Jealous again, it has the hop sticker too. Jealous again, hard to handle, twice as hard. Could I've Been So Blind? That's one of my favorites. And of course, She Talks to Angels. Wow. She Talks to Angels. That's up for bid for 105. Ace Frehley is at 35, 40. Wasp is new and sealed. This is new and sealed for $39.99. Black Crow's 105. Ted Stevens says he'll take the Megadeth. I've got 3 left if anybody else wants one. I also have Killing Is My Business and Business Is Good. Those are $36.99 if anybody wants one. They're also new and sealed. All right, it's time. I've still got 7 crates of vintage stuff, not counting the crate of box sets that I marked and others. So lots of stuff. If anybody wants anything in that bin of new vinyl, let me know. We have a lot to go through. Let's actually go through a check condition bin. A check condition bin that was marked today. Jeffrey DeLong says he'll take the Wasp, and Dan's wanting the boxes. Dan, I'll do the box sets. I actually have a couple I've got to auction. I'll do those right now. I'll start some box set auctions. Before I go any further, though, let me show a couple more books. I actually have 2 of these. Half off what they originally sold for. This is The Beatles. It's got this really thick, squishy cover. Beatlemania for the Fab Four, $9.99. Another really cool illustrated, hundreds and hundreds of photos of the Beatles, information. I actually got 2 of these. And I think these are from some collections that came from up north. $9.99 on the Beatles. This is movie, TV, soundtracks, and original cast albums price guide. This is actually an old price guide for records. I thought that was pretty interesting. If anything, it's a great reference. Shows all the soundtracks, at least through 1987. That is $6.99. $6.99. And another Grateful Dead book, The Wisdom of Jerry Garcia. The Wisdom of Jerry Garcia. Lots of quotes and little blips, I guess, from the man himself. $9.99 on that. So 2 Beatles books, $9.99. Those are little hardback books. Very cool. The 1987 movie soundtrack, almost like a reference guide, and Jerry Garcia. Those are all available. Update on our auctions. Ace Frehley was at 40 with Arthur, and then Bob Riger bid 45. We got Ted Stevens' Megadeth. Jeffrey DeLong said he will take the Wasp. Let's pull that for Jeffrey DeLong. Jeffrey DeLong gets the Wasp record here. That's sold to him. Next was Black Crow's 120, box sets request. Ace Frehley 48, Bob Riger's out. Brad Bolin wants the Jerry Garcia Wisdom book. Sarah Long's out on Black Crows. Marco Martinez wants a Beatles book. And George Buchanan wants a Beatles book. Jake Zerbel, you were second on the Jerry Garcia. So Marco and George Buchanan both get a Beatles book. And that just leaves the movie, TV, soundtrack, and cast albums price guide, $6.99. Black Crows is at $125, and Ace Frehley's at $48. I think we got a new bidder. It looks like one of our new viewers from the KISS group. Arthur, I guarantee you found us through Kiss My Collectibles, right? If so, welcome. You're the high bidder on that right now for $48. Final call. Just hang on till you officially win it. It's at $48. I'm doing a final call. And the Black Crows is at $125 with Chris Frazier. New bin of records. These are all check condition. So I'm going to tell you the title and the grade. I'm going to tell you the title and the grade. They're first come, first serve. First is Bill Cosby's Fat Albert. VG condition, $9.99. VG condition, $9.99. Final call on both these auctions, $48 and $125. I've got a whole crate of stuff over here to go through. Jack Bruce, Songs for a Tailor. Jack Bruce is VG Plus condition, $19.99. Jack Bruce Songs for a Tailor. Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, Four-Way Street, VG Plus condition, $27.99. Dire Straits is VG, their debut album. Sultans of Swing, VG, $14.99 for Dire Straits. And the Rolling Stones, Made in the Shade, VG, $14.99. Someone said I need to hit the caffeine. I'm actually going to do that right now. I'm going to mute my mic for 1 second. I may have already hit it enough tonight, but I guess not. Arthur Wyman, thank you. You won the Ace Frehley for $48. I know you're a first-time buyer, so thank you and welcome. Make sure you message our page, which is CollectCo. Here's how things work. We do $7 unlimited shipping all week. So we do these shows 6 nights a week. We're about to actually start doing 7, but Coins and Knives will be different on or separate on Sunday nights. 6 nights a week. 6 nights a week for records, $7 unlimited shipping. So that starts on Monday, so you can buy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, $7 unlimited shipping. The Black Crows is sold to Chris Frazier for $125. Before we go any further in this bin, let's put up 2 new auctions. Let's do one that I actually listened to last night. This sounds incredible. Highly regarded MoFi pressing, 1981 U.S. pressing, MoFi, Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab, EX Plus to Near Mint Minus, and that's before I test played it. There was one mark on side 2. I was just making sure it played right through it, and it did. I mean, it's like flawless MoFi vinyl. There's one little mark. Let me see if I can hit the light so y'all can see it. One mark right there. Played right through it, no problems. The cheapest one, I think, that's not in near mint condition on Discogs, it said it had pops and noise, and the cover had seam splits, was $185. This one is near mint minus, test played. It sounds fantastic. It's about a VG Plus cover, just a little bit of sign of wear, but no seam splits or anything like that. It also has the original MoFi inserts. $155 start. It sounds so good. I think it was Ziggy Stardust. You know, I've heard that song a million times. I heard the keyboards really stood out. Like, I didn't even really ever notice the keyboards. I think it's in the solo of that song. Really, really good sounding record. 1981 MoFi pressing, $155 start. That's David Bowie, $155 start. Our next auction is going to be, let me do this box set here. So this was kind of unfortunate, but it's okay. I don't know where this came from, but somebody at one point took a piece of tape. They took a piece of like shipping tape, and they like taped this right here. I don't know if y'all can see that. This is the John Mellencamp vinyl collection. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 LP. 5 LP. But what happened is they took a piece of tape, and we took a box cutter, and we separated them all. So they all have a little bit of tape on the spine. But these are all 180 gram remaster John Cougar Mellencamp albums. This entire box set is going to be just a $55 start. And that is American Fool, Scarecrow, Lonesome Jubilee, and Big Daddy. Just a $55 start. They're all near mint, but I just want to let you know that somebody took a piece of tape and like taped over it, I guess, so the records wouldn't fall out. And of course, the tape got stuck to all the spine. You're getting 580 gram near mint John Cougar Mellencamp. The box set's in shrink wrap. That's now up for bid. George Buchanan's at $150 on Ziggy Stardust. I actually said $155, but $150 is okay. $150 going once, going twice. We already got 2 bidders on that. Okay, so back to the bin. Christopher Morris got Dire Straits. Christopher Morris got Dire Straits earlier. Then we had Rolling Stones, Crosby, Stills and Nash, Jack Bruce, Bill Cosby, Fat Albert. ELO Discovery, EX Condition, $17.99 for ELO Discovery. EX Condition, $17.99. The Jacksons Triumph. The Jacksons is EX Condition, $24.99. Also, the Monkees, VG Plus, $9.99 on their debut album. It does have some cover damage along the back here. VG Plus, $9.99. Star Trek, the motion picture, VG Plus, $17.99. Star Trek, the motion picture, VG Plus, $17.99. Fat Albert's in VG condition, $9.99. Bill Cosby, Fat Albert, VG, $9.99. Olay ELO, Electric Light Orchestra, VG Plus condition, $14.99. VG Plus condition, $14.99. Olay ELO. Let me fix this inner sleeve here. There we go. Back up to the top. Final call on David Bowie. George Buchanan has that for $150. That's the cheapest, definitely the cheapest you're going to get one right now in this condition anywhere on the web. $150. Final call. John Cougar Mellencamp, $55. Then we had a $60 bid. Jake Biderman wants M. That's for the Monkeys. Rich Shockley gets the Star Trek, and the John Cougar Mellencamp's at $65. I'm sure that cost over $100 when it was new, and there's nothing wrong with it except the tape there on the spines. Carole King's classic album, Tapestry. VG Plus, $12.99. Carole King Tapestry. VG Plus, or VG copy, $12.99. Boston, Don't Look Back. Wow, that cover has nice colors. VG Plus, $24.99 for Boston, Don't Look Back. That's because it's the OG label, OG pressing. VG Plus, $24.99. Jetstream gets the Carole King. That's so did Jetstream. Chet Atkins picks on the Beatles. VG Plus, $17.99. Chet Atkins picks on the Beatles. George Buchanan gets back in on Ziggy Stardust at $160. James Brown, Living in America from Rocky IV. That's a 12-inch single. VG Plus, $14.99. James Brown, Living in America. Lionel Richie, Dancing on the Ceiling. EX condition, $12.99. Lionel Richie, Dancing on the Ceiling. EX, $12.99. Dark Side of the Moon is a 75 Winchester press. It also has 2 of the original posters, $64.99. 75 Winchester, 2 original posters, VG Plus, $64.99. All right, we're going to move along on some of these auctions very quickly. Bubby Mercer is at $65 on the John Cougar box set. Brent bid $155 on David Bowie. George bid $160. Brent bid $165. Leslie wants Lionel Richie. Jake was second. Nick Bargeron third. And Christopher Morris fourth. The Hollies Greatest Hits. VG Plus, $14.99 on the Hollies Greatest Hits. Also, we have Bad Company, Desolation Angels, Rock and Roll Fantasy, EX, $17.99. Christopher Morris was fifth on Lionel Richie. Can I see the back of Fat Albert? This is the back of Fat Albert. Bill Cosby, Fat Albert. It's 1973 MCA, VG condition, $9.99. Chris Bellman and Bernie Grunman did the mastering on the John Mellencamp. Boy, this is going to sound great. The vinyl's all near mint. Great deal right now. WVU Mounties has this for $70. New bidder. New bidder. George Buchanan, you're out on Ziggy Stardust. Let me know if you want back in. Brent has it for $165. Peter Tosh, Equal Rights. Peter Tosh is EX, $27.99. The Doors, Soft Parade. This is a 69 UK pressing. $54.99. Wow, that's a cool label. $54.99, a UK pressing from 69. The Doors, Soft Parade. That's VG Plus, $54.99. Chris Wood Sr. is out on the John Mellencamp box. Does the Hollies have Bus Stop on it? Yes, it does. First track, the Hollies Bus Stop. The Hollies Greatest Hits. VG Plus, $14.99. Craig Thomas on Peter Tosh. That's sold to Craig Thomas. And we have Street Action, BTO. Street Actions, VG Plus, $9.99. Jackson Brown, Running on Empty. VG Plus, $9.99. It's in an anti-static sleeve with the original booklet and inner sleeve. VG Plus, $9.99. And the Beatles, Abbey Road, a VG copy for $24.99. VG copy for $24.99. Abbey Road. Jack Hewitt says he'll take the Hollies. That's so did Jack Hewitt. Bubby's also out on John Cougar Mellencamp. And we was waiting for George Buchanan to say out on this. Brent has it for $165. Final call. And now a final call on the John Mellencamp box. WVU Mounties has that for $70. Final call on both of those. Pink Floyd, Relics. Wow. A VG copy for $24.99. That's Relics, Pink Floyd, VG, $24.99. Steve Henry gets the Jackson Brown. George Buchanan said, I bid $60. Brent Robley has it for $165. Brent Robley has it for, he bid right after, like as soon as you bid $160, he bid $165. He bid $165. I'm about to sell the John Mellencamp box. Supertramp, Crisis. What Crisis? EX condition, $17.99. And Hank Williams Jr., Old Habits, or Habits, Old and New, EX condition, $22.99. George Buchanan is in on the David Bowie at $175. $175 is the new high bid, Brent. Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, Dallas Taylor, and Greg Reeves. That's known as Deja Vu, a classic album. EX condition, $32.99 for Deja Vu. And After the Gold Rush, Neil Young, VG Plus condition, $29.99. After the Gold Rush, and it has the lyric insert, another classic album, this time by Neil Young. All right, no other bidders on the John Mellencamp box. That's sold to WView Mounties for just $70. A 5 LP remastered Chris Bellman, Bernie Grundman box, sold, going to a new home. All right, let's do this. I have a feeling there's some people waiting for this. This is a Aerosmith bootleg. These have been hot commodities. This is a 1978 vintage original, unofficial from the U.S. 2 LP. This is a live Aerosmith concert. Boy, I put it on. Aerosmith just rocks, especially during this era. They were just so good. March 24th, 1978, Columbus, Ohio. $55 start. The vinyl is EX Plus. It's not pristine. Of course, it's a bootleg. What do you expect? March 24th, 1978. Now, there's some interesting notes on this. This is a recording of a live radio broadcast of a show at Veterans Auditorium in Columbus, Ohio, March 24th, 1978. The performances of Sight for Sore Eyes and Chip Away the Stone from the show appear on the official Aerosmith Live bootleg. However, Chip Away the Stone has edits to the vocals on live bootleg. The intro to Sweet Emotion heard in this recording also appears on live bootleg. However, a different performance of the rest of the song is stitched into the intro for the live bootleg. So actually, some of the recordings from this concert are on live bootleg, and I think that's kind of like that live bootleg. It's a live album, but I think they did some stitching and some work to it. It's not actually like a full, complete, unedited concert. And this is the full, complete, unedited concert from Columbus, Ohio, March 24th, 1978. So I thought that was pretty cool. I listened to it. It sounds great, and that's a vintage 1978 Aerosmith bootleg, and it has some of the original recordings from they used on the live bootleg. $55 start. I already see multiple bids on it. That's going up for auction now. David Bowie is done. George Buchanan's out. Brent Riley has that for $185. That's sold to Brent for $185. Aerosmith is now in slot number 1. Jacob Harris got the Hank Williams Jr. That's sold to Jacob Harris. Aerosmith is at 55, 58, 60, 65, and now 70. Let's do another Japanese pressing or something else over here. Let's do that other Alan Jackson, Here in the Real World. This one's not too easy to get either. This is a 1989. It's actually classified as limited edition. Limited edition. This is Alan Jackson, Here in the Real World. This is a $135 start. Alan Jackson, Here in the Real World. The vinyl's EX. We'll call it EX, maybe EX Plus. Looks very nice to me. $135 start. And this is the only other Alan Jackson we have tonight. Once again, 1989, limited edition. Not a lot of these being pressed on vinyl in 89. I'm sure most of them on CD and cassette for that era. $135 start on that. Alan Jackson, Here in the Real World. Chris Wood Sr. is the high bidder on Aerosmith at $70. Don says he's out. David Lee Roth, Crazy from the Heat. VG copy for $12.99. Revolver, wow. Always like to see that pop up. VG copy, $14.99. That's on the Apple label. Can't go wrong there. Revolver, VG, $14.99. Jeffrey DeLong wants David Lee Roth. Brent Robley second. Brian C. third. Iron Butterfly in Agata DeVita in shrink wrap, gold record award sticker, VG Plus condition, $14.99. Sarah Long first on Revolver, looking for a $135 start on Alan Jackson. Kate Bush, this is the whole story. It's a greatest hits. It even includes Running Up That Hill. VG copy, $24.99, 1986 specialty pressing. This is in VG condition. It's a Kate Bush hits compilation, $24.99. Dan Alker gets the Inagata DeVita. Chris Wood Sr. has Aerosmith for $70. Final call. And final call if you want to get a bid in on Alan Jackson before I make it a buy it now. Jack Hewitt, you were second to Iron Butterfly. Van Morrison, Tupelo Honey. VG Plus, $29.99. Original label with the poster. Wow, that's a nice looking VG Plus. $29.99. And it has the poster. Van Morrison, Tupelo Honey. Speaking of Aerosmith, their debut album, VG Plus condition, $24.99. VG Plus condition, $24.99. Alan Jackson, we're looking for a $135 start. Limited edition. Original, 1989. Limited edition. That's a $135 start. We do have a bid with Mike Post. Mike's in at $135. John Smetzer first on Van Morrison. Jetstream was second. Sarah Long first on Aerosmith. Sherry Darnell third on Van Morrison. Chris Wood Sr., you get the Aerosmith for $70. Misty's at $140 on Alan Jackson. So Misty and Mike are bidding on that now. next record is going to be a Japanese pressing. A great Elton John album, Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy. A 1975 Japanese pressing with Obi, Brown Dirt Cowboy, Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy. A great album, but also a great title song. This is EX Plus, the Near Mint Minus Japanese pressing. It is extremely nice. This is going to be a $45 start. I should have said $55. I've already said $45. It has the Japanese insert with it. And this is Elton John, Captain Fantastic, gatefold. Extremely nice. That's now up for bid. Someone saved my life tonight. That is now up for bid. Alan Jackson, 140, 142, 147, 150. Elton John's at 45, 45. Pink Floyd Animals, VG, 24.99. Pink Floyd Animals, CDs. Randy, I'm glad you said something. Let me step over here and grab them so they're a little bit closer to me. Because we've officially in the end of a crate. We've officially reached the end of the crate, and now I can show some stuff. Seth, you just threw all my stuff in a chair. You're flirting with getting fired, buddy. I would be very careful. I'd be extremely careful. Okay, these CDs are all first come, first serve, all right? These are new Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab CDs, okay? New Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab CDs. First come, first serve. The Eagles, $49.99. The Eagles, self-titled. These are MoFi CDs. Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab, $49.99 for the Eagles. The Band, self-titled. Another, all MoFi CDs, $59.99. The Band, $59.99. The Allman Brothers, $59.99. The Allman Brothers, $59.99. There's another Brothers and Sisters. So two Allman Brothers. There's Brothers and Sisters, $49.99. And Jeff Beck Truth is sealed. Jeff Beck Truth is sealed. $69.99 for Jeff Beck Truth, and that is sealed. Okay, let me get everybody updated right quick. Elton John was at $45.55. Elton John has an insert. No poster. It has the insert. No poster, has the insert. High bid was $45 with Don Alker. Alan Jackson, $155. Alan Jackson, $160. Pamela Yeager says she'll take the Band. Pamela Yeager gets the Band. Misty's at $165 on Alan Jackson. So the Eagles, the Allman Brothers Band, the Allman Brothers Band, and Jeff Beck Truth. That's what's still left there. These are UDS SA CDs, Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab. I'm not for sure on it being a hybrid. I don't know too much about these. So the Eagles, Allman Brothers, and Jeff Beck, what's left in that stack. Sarah Long says, please put back the Aerosmith record. If anybody wants Aerosmith, those are still available. Okay, so let me show a few more of these CDs, but first let me do Aerosmith is still available. VG Plus $24.99. I'm going to do a final call on Elton John. Don Alker has this for $55. That's a final call. Final call on that, and Alan Jackson is at $165 with Misty. Kevin Hughes says he's out. And what labels on Pink Floyd Relics? Give me 1 second on that. We're about to wrap up those. Here is what's left on the MoFi CDs. Rod Stewart, Every Picture Tells a Story, $39.99. John Cougar Mellencamp, The Lonesome Jubilee, $34.99. Procol Harum, that is Broken Barricades, $19.99. Procol Harum, A Salty Dog, $24.99. U2, Unforgettable Fire. EX on that one, $44.99. It may have a stray mark. U2 War is $49.99. Uh-oh. 2112, $74.99. I bet that's what Randy was waiting on. Here's Megadeth, Countdown to Extinction, $39.99 MoFi CD. And we have the Alan Parsons Project, iRobot, $24.99. Good stuff there. If you got the right equipment to play those on, holy moly, that's going to blow you away, just like the MoFi vinyl. All right, let me go back up and wrap these up. Let's go ahead and sell Misty, Alan Jackson for $165. Dan Alker gets the Elton John for $55. That's what I was thinking on it anyways. Larry Underhill, I will answer your Pink Floyd question in 1 second. Henry's Choice, you were first to Procol Harum. Let me know if you want Salty Dog. Let me know if you want Salty Dog or Broken Barricades. You're first to that. Randy Anderson wants the 2112. Let me find that for Randy. It's right here. 2112. That's going to Randy Anderson. I'm going to lay that on top of Elton John, Tanner. Sean Holford gets the Megadeth, and Randy Anderson wants the Alan Parsons. And these are, once again, Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab CDs. And here's all that's left. The Eagles, Allman Brothers, Brothers and Sisters, Jeff Beck Truth, Rod Stewart, John Mellencamp, U2, and U2. And those are MoFi CDs. And we're going to figure out which Procol Harum CD. And I actually have another Jeff Beck Truth that's opened. If anybody wants that for $20 cheaper, it is opened, $49.99. $49.99. That's for an open copy. That's for an open copy. Let me lay this right over here. And we're going to figure out which one of those he wants. All right, it's time for new auctions, and I'm going to recap this bin, and it's time for new stuff. Our next auctions is actually going to be some stuff that I pulled out. Here's some stuff that I pulled out of a couple bins earlier. Very cool set here. You get the blue and the red U.S. pressings of the Beatles 62 to 66, Sterling, Lee Holko mastering, 2 LP compilations. You get 62 to 66 and 67 to 70. Both are near mint minus, the original Apple pressings. They're very, very nice. $75 start for both of them. That is 62 to 66 and 67 to 70. $75 start on both of those. Henry's Choice put PH and then he put JB. He wants, I'm not for sure. The two choices here were Salty Dog and Broken Barricades. He may be claiming other stuff. What was JB? What did I do with those CDs? I just laid them right over here, I think. Was there another? That was Jeff Beck. I'm still waiting to figure out which. Just check rack. Okay, he's passing on Procol Harum, but I'm assuming you want the opened Jeff Beck, or do you want the sealed one? I'm going to give you the open one right now on JB for Jeff Beck. We'll find out. Jetstreams at 75 on the Beatles. I'm going to leave those right there. These aren't like the Japanese pressings. They have original inner sleeves. These did come with like a discography insert, but it's not like the Japanese that have books and posters. The U.S. pressings didn't come like that. So they just have original inner sleeves. Some of them have like a little insert, single page insert that advertised the Beatles discography. But no, the U.S. copies didn't have all the extras like the Japanese copies do. Jetstreams at $75. That's going once, going twice. Okay, our next auction is going to be an autograph. I think we've sold his autograph before. I know we have. This is autographed by Leon Russell. The album is Leon Russell and the Newgrass Revival, the live album. And the actual LP is near mint minus, if that means anything to you. It's very nice. It's a $55 start. And once again, I guarantee that to be an authentic Leon Russell autograph. Right there it is. Autographed by Leon Russell, $55 start on that. So here's what's left in this check condition bin. We had Jack Bruce, Songs for a Tailor, Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, the Rolling Stones, Made in the Shade, ELO, Discovery, Jackson's Triumph, Olay ELO, Boston, Don't Look Back. We have Chet Atkins, Picks on the Beatles. We have James Brown, Living in America, Pink Floyd, Bad Company, Bill Cosby, Fat Albert, The Doors, BTO, The Beatles, Pink Floyd Relics. Somebody asked about Pink Floyd Relics. Pink Floyd Relics is a U.S. pressing on the Harvest label. That is SW-759, and that was a VG condition, $24.99. Jacob Harris wants Boston. If you're here for Metal Records, those are going to be Thursday night. We may have a couple mixed in tomorrow as a teaser, but Metal Records is Thursday night. That's what I put in the Facebook ad. Supertramp, Crisis, What Crisis? Also Crosby, Stills, and Nash, Neil Young, Kate Bush, Pink Floyd, and Aerosmith. Wow, great titles still left in there. Next is Jacob Harris. He got Boston. Larry Underhill says he's going to go ahead and take the Relics. And let's go ahead and sell Jetstream both of these Beatles records. Great deal. $75. Both of those are sold to Jetstream. If anybody wants the Leon Russell autograph, it's a $55 buy now. I'm selling that one very quickly. No bid. $55 buy now. Autographed by Leon Russell. That's one of the last ones I have left. I think I've sold 3 or 4. Pamela Yeager says she'll take it for $55. How much for Animals? Animals was VG condition, $24.99. VG condition, $24.99. One of my favorites. And the Jackson's Victory was right here. And Webster, that was an EX condition, so very close to near mint minus, $24.99. Time for a new crate of new vintage arrivals. Larry Underhill says he'll take Pink Floyd Animals. So we've been through 3 crates of vintage, and everything can fit into one. So we're really moving the vintage tonight. There were several things in there I'm surprised they didn't sell. Larry Underhill takes the Animals. Let me grab a new crate, and I think I like, is this the one here? One of these it was just like one of the best. We got a Paul crate, and I think it's this one here. This one just had amazing, really nice, clean, just like rock and pop and classic rock titles. Some very desirable stuff. Box sets. Oh my gosh, Johnny, I forgot about those. I've got one more to auction, don't I? Okay, let me do these. Okay, I do have one more to put up for auction. Check this out. You know, we still have these in stock, but this is the very desirable one that's pressed at RTI, which is out of print. They don't press these anymore at RTI. This is Led Zeppelin Mothership with hop sticker, and it has the RTI sticker. This is pressed at RTI. $95 start. It is sealed. Mothership, 4LP and book, Led Zeppelin's greatest hits, 4LP, remastered, Jimmy Page, 20-page book, 4 really cool custom inner sleeves, pressed at RTI, $95 start, and it's sealed. It is sealed. Webster Vance says he'll take the Jackson. Sell that to Webster Vance. So do you. What I'll do is I will auction a box set, and then I'll show one for a buy it now, because I've got like 6 others, and then I have 5 that are on sale. I've got 5 that are on sale. Eddie Money, Where's the Party? In shrink wrap. Here's some of the records I was just talking about. They're just really nice LPs. Original inner sleeve on this, near mint minus vinyl, shrink wrapped. Eddie Money, $14.99. Rogers at $95 on Led Zeppelin. Fleetwood Mac, Heroes Are Hard to Find, $24.99. Don't get that one as often. Fleetwood Mac, $24.99. Creedence Clearwater Revival, Chronicle. This is the essential Creedence Clearwater Greatest Hits compilation, $34.99. That is their greatest hits Chronicle. Okay, got another Grateful Dead record. This took a long time to clean and research because there's so much information about it. This is a 1972 Santa Maria press, EX to EX Plus condition with the 8-page book. This record has always been hard to price because if you look on Discogs, a lot of them are beat and then a lot of them are pristine. And it's so weird, like a really beat up copy will sell for $45 or $65. And then you'll get on Discogs and this 72 Santa Maria, it'll be like pristine and shrink wrap, and some have sold as high as like 210. And if these are nice, people really pay up for them. It's a triple LP, original Grateful Dead label, Green Warner Brothers with a skull and roses. It has the 8-page book. This is a $75 start. I've cleaned them all. They have all the original Warner Brothers inner sleeves. I put them all in new MoFi inner sleeves, and that's the Grateful Dead, their classic live album, Europe 72. And that is a $75 start. So I'm going to start it somewhere kind of in between because these are always so hard to price. We usually just auction them. That is now up for bid. Rogers at $95 on Led Zeppelin. Chris B. Jack gets Eddie Money. That's sold to Chris. Rodriguez is $36.99. Rodriguez Code Fact. That is new and sealed for $36.99, Connor. Grateful Dead is at $85 with Zach. Mick Jagger, She's the Boss, $19.99 for Mick Jagger. Brian, this is actually Elvis Costello. Elvis Costello, Almost Blue, really nice looking copy of that, $24.99. Grateful Dead's at $85 with Zach Crow, and Roger Ramjet has Led Zeppelin for $95. No Jacket Required, Phil Collins. This is in shrink wrap with the original inner sleeve. Phil Collins is $19.99. Creedence Clearwater Revival is $34.99. CCR Chronicle, $34.99. Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. So far, Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, so far, that is $34.99. Near mint copy, that's their greatest hits. Marshall Crenshaw, Downtown, also $19.99. And David Bowie, Let's Dance, 12-inch single, really, really nice copy. And Cat People, Putting Out Fire with Gasoline. Stevie Ray Vaughan on lead guitar. Fleetwood Mac Mirage, $19.99. Original inner sleeve, Fleetwood Mac Mirage, $19.99. Stevie Nicks, Rock a Little. Stevie Nicks is in shrink wrap with the original inner sleeve, $19.99. Stevie Nicks, Rock a Little. And we have Yes Relayer. I actually haven't had a copy of that pop up in a while. Yes Relayer with the original inner sleeve, $19.99. Patty's at $100 on Led Zeppelin. So Roger Ramjet, you are out on that. James Bragg's at $87 on the Grateful Dead. The Young Rascals Groovin'. The Young Rascals Groovin'. Original label, beautiful vinyl, $29.99. James Bragg wants Yes. These are very nice copies. David Crosby, If You Could Only Remember My Name by David Crosby, original pressing of that, specialty press, $39.99. Jetstream second on Yes, and the history of Otis Redding, also $39.99. Yellow Atco label, $39.99. Roger Ramjet, let me know if you're back in on Led Zeppelin. Grateful Dead is at, where was this? I think James Bragg. Yes, James Bragg, 87. Zach's out, so that's a final call. And James Bragg wants DC. David Crosby. Those are both sold to James Bragg there. David Bowie, day in, day out. 12-inch single, $14.99. We also have the Bangles, Different Light. We sold a copy of this last night. $24.99. Original inner sleeve, Manic Monday, and Walk Like an Egyptian, of course. Two big hits on that one. CCR, Will and the Poor Boys. This has all kinds of hits on it, like Fortunate Son, Down on the Corner, Midnight Special, $29.99. This is actually one of their original studio albums. That's a second label, Near Mint Minus on the vinyl. Okay, it's time to sell some auctions. Led Zeppelin, box set, sealed mothership, RTI pressing, sold to Patty for $100. James Bragg gets the Grateful Dead for $87. It's time for new auctions. It's time for new auctions. And then I'm going to show a couple new box sets as buy it nows. First, a Japanese pressing. Let's do Elton John's Greatest Hits Volume 2, and let's do something else from the Pittsburgh collection, a very cool copy of Sgt. Pepper's. First, we have Elton John's Greatest Hits Volume 2. This is a 1979 Japanese pressing. It is a perfect copy, meaning it's OG, it has the original inserts, booklet, inner sleeves, and the vinyl is perfect. This is going to be a $45 start. Elton John has the lyric booklet here. Philadelphia Freedom, Greatest Hits Volume 2. I like the songs on Volume 2 just as much as Volume 1. There's an insert. There's the original inner sleeve. There's a solicitation advertisement form. Perfect cover with Obi. One little corner bump right there. $45 start on Elton John's Greatest Hits. Has book, inner sleeve, inserts, and that's now up for bid. This is really cool here. This is a 1978 Canadian pressing. This is on gray and pink marbled vinyl. This was pressed in Canada. It's a $65 start. This is Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. $65 start. Near Mint Minus vinyl. Look at that. That's another one. You pull it out and you're like, whoa. I think it's technically a mispress. I think that's the catalog number for the White Album or something. Maybe the purple capital label. Something to do with the catalog number is a misprint. But I don't think they ever did correct it, so they're all misprints. It's not like it's a variant or something. I think they're all misprinted. Nice jacket, just a little bit of sign of wear here. $65 on that. Very cool 78 Canadian press on marbled vinyl. Okay. We pulled DC. Cat People, Brian Arrigo. The Cat People. That was $19.99. Let's Dance and Cat People, $19.99. It's a perfect copy. Near Mint Minus. Christopher's at $45 on Elton John. Stevens at $46. I have not done We're an American Band. David, consider that one on deck. Okay, I've got a few box sets. These actually came from some collections. Let me do the first two. These actually came from some collections we got. First is Lynyrd Skynyrd. This is their studio album discography box set. Never seen this before. It's definitely out of print. Lynyrd Skynyrd, that's what it's called. $199.99. You get One More From the Road, Pronounced, Second Helping, Nothing Fancy, Give Me Back My Bullets, and Street Survivors. All sealed, new 180-gram vinyl, Lynyrd Skynyrd box set, $199.99. I have one of those available. That's from a collection we bought. And War, this is War, the vinyl, 71 to 75. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 albums. Their first 5 albums, self-titled, All Day Music, The World is a Ghetto, Deliver the Word, and Why Can't We Be Friends. All on colored vinyl. They're all on different colored vinyl, limited to $5,099.99. $99.99. That's War. Their first 5 albums, all on colored vinyl, $99.99. That's the first 2 box sets from some collections we purchased. Brian says he'll take the David Bowie. Thank you, Brian. He gets the 12-inch single. Elton John was at 45, 46, 48, 49. James Bragg wants War, and I think Jeff Johnson wants Lynyrd Skynyrd. Jeff, let me know if that's right. So Jeff Johnson gets Lynyrd Skynyrd, and James Bragg gets War. And we have, looking for no bid yet on Sgt. Pepper's, looking for a $65 start. Back to the bin, John Lee Hooker and Canned Heat. Boogie with Hooker and Heat, very cool, $29.99. John Lee Hooker and Canned Heat. John Lennon Mind Games, $29.99. John Lennon Mind Games. So Jeff Johnson does get the Lynyrd Skynyrd box, and James Bragg gets the War box. Zach put EST. Zach, let me know what EST was for. Sarah Long wants the John Lee Hooker. Final call on Elton John, $49. Christopher Morris, let me know if you're in or out. The Rolling Stones, Some Girls, $34.99. This is the edited cover. No condition notes on the vinyl. Rolling Stones, $34.99. Led Zeppelin, a 75 Presswell press, Led Zeppelin 4, also known as their Untitled album, $59.99. Led Zeppelin 4, $59.99. The Mothers of Invention, Freak Out, 1966 with the Hotspot ad, $69.99. Frank Zappa, 2LP, The Mothers of Invention. Beautiful vinyl. Wow. And a strong, bold-looking Verve label, $69.99. He was trying to write war. Okay, you would have been second on that. Eric Clapton, Just One Night. This is a 2LP live Clapton album, $39.99. Final call on Elton John at $49. I was waiting for Christopher Morris to say in or out. And Songs in the Key of Life, classic Stevie Wonder. It also includes the lyric booklet with it, $29.99. Sir Duke's on here. Also, Isn't She Lovely? And, of course, let's see here. What's the Isn't She Lovely? I thought that of course, that's another big one. Where's Superstition? I thought it was on here. Superstition not on this album. Very superstitious. Let's see here. Where is it at here? I Wish is another big hit. Isn't She Lovely? I thought Superstition's on here. I may be wrong, though. $29.99. Kevin Moore wants SW. SW was Stevie Wonder. That's sold to Kevin. He says never mind on that. So that's still available. No bid on Sgt. Pepper's. We're looking for a $65 start, but Stephen Freyu gets Elton John for $49. That's sold to Stephen Freyu. The Beatles, I'm looking for a $65 start. If you bid, I'll sell it pretty quickly to you. 2 more new box sets sealed. The first is a 4LP Ultimate Hits of Steve Miller Band, $89.99. 4LP Deluxe Edition, 40 career-spanning hits. Tracks were personally selected by Steve Miller. It includes previously unreleased music, $89.99. $89.99. And ZZ Top, 5 decades of hits. 5 LP box set. ZZ Top is $99.99. This is out of print. I remember when we had these in stock. Boy, I wish I could still get them. They're gone. ZZ Top, $99.99. The best of. And the Steve Miller Band Ultimate Hits. No, this is a perfect Canadian near mint pressing of Sgt. Pepper's on pink and gray marble vinyl. It is absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. James Bragg gets a ZZ Top box and Zach Elias gets the Steve Miller Band box. Jacob Harris second on ZZ Top. The Beatles, Please Please Me, $34.99. Black Parlophone label, $34.99. Superstition was on Talking Book. Talking Book, yeah. Okay, I can see the cover now. I don't know why I thought it was on that one. I guess not. MC Sean, Ain't It Good to You? MC Sean, $9.99. And Destiny's Child, Lose My Breath. Destiny's Child, $12.99. 12-inch single. George is at 75 on the Beatles. Going twice, going 3 times. Next is a bootleg from Yes. This is Yes. It's called Views. Look at this Roger Dean artwork. Very, very cool. It's actually from 1988. It's a 1988 Australian pressing. Pacific Amphitheater, Costa Mesa, California, March 5th, 1988, near mint minus. Side 1 is Paris, 1979 studio outtakes. This is a $45 start, and this is Yes, 1988. And I listened to one side. I'm pretty sure it's an audience recording, but it's not bad. I think I started it from the beginning of the concert. Side 2, 2LP, near mint minus. If anything, amazing artwork, as always, with Roger Dean, with the Yes logo, $45 start. $45 start with that. George Buchanan, you're going to get the Beatles for $75. That's sold to you. Yes is near mint minus. Live boot from March 5th, 1988. $45 start. Someone's going to end up with that and be very happy. We got another auction to run. Grand Funk, we're an American band. This is going to be a $35 start on this. $35 start. 1979 Japanese pressing. This has the original insert with it. It's near mint minus and pristine. And this is a $35 start. Grand Funk, we're an American band. I don't think I've ever had this as a Japanese pressing. There's the original inner sleeve. $35 start on Grand Funk, we're an American band. $35 and $45 on Yes. Okay, next in the bin is Gary Wright. This is The Light of Smiles. That is actually a sealed copy. $26.99 for Gary Wright. Jaco Pastorius, Pat Metheny, Bruce Ditmas, and Paul Bly. $49.99 for that. I think William is trying to bid on Grand Funk. Grand Funk is a $35 start. Yes is a $45 start. Jan Hammer, the first 7 days. I don't know if I've ever seen that one before. Jan Hammer is $16.99. Also, Cellophane Symphony by Tommy James and the Shondells, $26.99. Uriah Heep, High and Mighty. Uriah Heep is $19.99. High and Mighty, $19.99 for Uriah Heep. And Van Morrison, St. Dominic's Preview. We don't get this one as often. $39.99 for Van Morrison. It's a 1972 OG Press green label, $39.99. Grand Funk, $35, $35, $40, $38. Jetstream wants JH. JH was Jan Hammer, Grand Funk $45. We're looking for a $45 start on Yes, no bid. Looking for a $45 start. Pamela Yeager wants Van Morrison. That's sold to Pamela Yeager. I'm going to take a quick pause there and show you a few DVDs before the Jenga Tower falls over here. Most of them are Beatles, so let me remind you what they are. This is the Beatles Celebration. These are all DVDs, $6.99. It's called the Beatles Celebration. Rare footage, interviews, photos, press conferences. The Beatles, $6.99. Paul McCartney, Halifax, July 11th, 2009. That's a bootleg DVD. Bootleg DVD of Paul McCartney, $6.99 on that. Hard Day's Night, that's the original film. That is sealed, unopened, $9.99. All Together Now, a documentary film, The Beatles Love, 84-minute documentary, $6.99. Fun with the Fab Four, that's $6.99. The Beatles Unauthorized, see the Beatles in historic live performances and interviews, that's $6.99. Love for Levon, a benefit to Save the Barn, featuring Roger Waters, John Mayer, My Morning Jacket. I mean, I can't read all these. Look at all these names. John Prine. This is some kind of benefit for Levon Helm. Love for Levon, Save the Barn, 2 DVD and 2 CD set, $14.99. And then Taken Woodstock. I remember seeing that in theaters. It's like the story of Woodstock. I'm going to be honest, though, I don't think it was that good. But it's new and sealed, $6.99. Okay, we have Grand Funk, 40, 38, 45. Yes is at 45 with David Everly. Jason Kenton wants the Levon Helm DVD. Tommy Flowers was second. And that leaves the Beatles, Paul McCartney, the Beatles, Beatles All Together, the Beatles, and Taken Woodstock. And Taken Woodstock was new and sealed. Those are all CDs there. So it's musically and artistically bogus. I'm not for sure what that means. But we do have the Beatles 65. This is an 80s pressing, $29.99. It's on the Capitol Rainbow label, $29.99. That's an 80s pressing. And Dark World, 1982. Dark World is $19.99. Dark World. That looks very interesting. It's in shrink wrap, $19.99. So I think William and Bob just both bid on Grand Funk. We have Yes at $45, and that's a final call. Grand Funk's at $47. Till Tuesday, welcome home. Till Tuesday is $19.99. Dean Martin, I take a lot of pride in what I am. Dean Martin's $9.99. Tina Turner, Love Explosion. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Tina Turner's $24.99. They're still bidding on Grand Funk. High bid's now $48. Rainbow, Difficult to Cure. Rainbow is $34.99. Difficult to Cure, red Polydor label. Jetstream wants Dean Martin, and Bryce Culver gets Tina Turner. I'm going to lay those lightly on top of the Levon DVD right there. And we have Stevie Nicks, The Wild Heart, $19.99. Original inner sleeve, Stevie Nicks, The Wild Heart, $19.99. Albert King, New Orleans Heat. Albert King is $24.99. That's a 1978. It does have a punch-hole up here. Albert King, $24.99. All right, yes, only one bid. I found that very surprising and shocking. That's sold to David Everly for $45. Grand Funk is at $48. They're still bidding on that. Excuse me, let me put up another auction, but not before I show you 2 more box sets. This is Moth the Hoople, the complete Atlantic studio albums. Moth the Hoople, $99.99. I've never seen this box set. Exclusive numbered box set and mini poster from Moth the Hoople, the complete Atlantic studio albums. It's numbered on the back, $99.99. And Tom Petty, I remember having these in stock. I wish I could still get them. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, the best of everything. This has his music from his Heartbreakers, his solo career, and with Mudcrutch, which those Mudcrutch albums are very hard. 38 classic tracks on 4 LPs, $99.99. There's 2 more new sealed box sets. Brent Robley wants Albert King. Bryce Culver needs to put back the Tina Turner. And we have Chris B. Jack wants the Tom Petty box. Martha Hoople is $99.99. High bid on Grand Funk is $48 with William Warback. That's a final call. William Warback has that for $48. Otis Rush, So Many Roads live in concert, $29.99. Tina Turner still available. Love Explosion. Like I said, I don't recall ever seeing that one. $24.99. David Bowie, Rare. This is an Italian compilation. David Bowie Rare tracks, $39.99. Let me get another auction started. So far, this is the only box set that did not sell. I'm going to put that over here with this new vinyl. Martha Hoople was $99.99. It's time for another auction. How about Public Enemy? Public Enemy is a 1988 U.S. press. This is a strong VG on the vinyl. It's not a perfect copy. This is going to be a $75 start. The cover's in shrink wrap. The vinyl's a strong VG. Some may say VG Plus, and this is Public Enemy. And this is a 1988 U.S. pressing. We've cleaned it, got in a new anti-static. This is the original inner sleeve. Either way, we don't see this too often. Public Enemy, $75 start, has the original inner sleeve. Strong VG/VG Plus vinyl, Public Enemy. It takes a nation of millions to hold us back. Shrink wrap and hype sticker cover, $75 start. James Bragg, you were second on Tom Petty. David Eberly says he'll take the Martha Hoople box set. Now, if you like box sets, it's amazing how many. I don't even know. Paul could tell us, or John, where all those came from. But one of these collections they bought up there had a ton of box sets. We got some that are rare and out of print. We'll be auctioning. We got to run those eventually. But I know in the office, we now got a whole shelf of these huge, gigantic box sets. Tom Petty, George Harrison, Yes, all this amazing stuff. The Rolling Stones, Emotional Rescue. This is in shrink wrap, $34.99. I think it's time to sell Grand Funk. William Warback gets that for $48. Public Enemy, we're looking for a $75 start. $75 start. The Police, Ghost in the Machine, $24.99 for The Police, Ghost in the Machine. Near Men on the vinyl, $24.99. Bob Dylan, Nashville Skyline. Hadn't seen a copy of that in a while. That's a 70s pressing, $34.99 on Bob Dylan, Nashville Skyline. And Heretics AD, $9.99. Going once, going twice if you want to get a bid in on that. Let me see what else I have here. I got another David Bowie bootleg. Yeah, I forgot about these. David Bowie, live, Bremen, West Germany. This is a 1980 U.S. unofficial, Near Mint Minus on the vinyl, and this is from Muskeladen, which was a German TV show in West Germany. This is from Bremen, West Germany. That's a cool picture there on that bootleg of David Bowie. And this is going to be a $35 start. The concert is from 1980 as well. Actually, it's from, West Germany. There's the track. And you got to watch these track listings on these bootlegs. Sometimes they're accurate, sometimes they're not. They didn't do a lot of proofreading. And this is $35 start. $35 start for David Bowie. Arthur, I don't think there's a lot more Kiss stuff left tonight. The way we do our shows is I auction different stuff all night. The really heavy Kiss stuff is coming sometime next week. But like I said, every night we at least have something Kiss, either a studio album or a solo album. And actually, if you want to hang out, I can show you all the new Kiss. I have a lot of new Kiss remasters sealed and in stock. So if you give me a few more moments, if you can hang out or maybe come back later and ask again, I can show you all the Kiss albums we have in stock. David Bowie's at $35.35. The Martha Hoople box set is gone. Martha Hoople box set is gone. The Stones album does not have the poster. Okay, we have Stevie Wonder, Synchronicity, $24.99 for The Police, Synchronicity. Classic Yes. Yes is in shrink wrap, $19.99. Classic Yes, that's in shrink wrap. And Aerosmith, Draw the Line with the original inner sleeve. Aerosmith, Draw the Line, $26.99 with the original inner sleeve. All right, two bids on David Bowie. Brian Arrigo was first. Cynthia Herdron, you're out. If anybody wants Public Enemy, it's a $75 buy it now. That's a strong VG or VG Plus vinyl covers and shrink wrap with hop sticker. Public Enemy is a $75 buy it now. It takes a nation of millions to hold us back. We don't get those too often. For sure. There's Public Enemy. Next is Brian C. says he'll do Aerosmith. Todd Tipton wants Yes. Shakedown gets Public Enemy. Tanner, that was a $75 buy it now. David Bowie's at $37 and now $37. Our next auction is going to be another Japanese pressing. This is the best of Emerson, Lake and Palmer. This is going to be we'll do this for a $40 start. It's a 1980 original Japanese pressing. It is a $40 start. The vinyl's EX Plus Near Mint Minus. Super nice and super clean, of course. Very nice Japanese pressing. The best of Emerson, Lake and Palmer. I don't know if I've had this before. I should have. I don't recall it though. $40 start. The best of Emerson, Lake and Palmer. That is now up for bid. $40 start on that. $40 start on that. Okay, and let me see. We got 2 auctions going. I'm just going to grab a new crate. No reason to recap that because we have so much more to go through. David Bowie's now at 38. The Police Bundle. Everything right now is sticker price. There are so many great records left in there. So many big top sellers. But I'm just going to have to grab a whole new crate. Let's do this other crate that I think Paul got ready for us last night that we never got to. So let's go ahead and grab that one and go through that. Bid fast on these auctions because I'm going to go ahead and try to go through as much as possible tonight. And next I'm going to go show you a few more books though. Here's some cardboard pads if anybody needs some. They're $50 a piece. I've got two more technically box sets. One's kind of an album, but here's 2 more. I think I've sold every box set I've shown, and then I've got some on sale. Fleetwood Mac, Tango in the Night, $99. Fleetwood Mac, Tango in the Night. Limited edition, deluxe, 3 CD, DVD, LP, remaster, unreleased outtake session, singles, remixes, dub versions, 5 hours of music. Fleetwood Mac, new and sealed, $19.99. Sheryl Crow is a 4 LP, live from the Ryman, $24.99. I can't put it in a sleeve. We don't have a sleeve big enough. Sheryl Crow, live at the Ryman, and more, $24.99. 4 LPs. 4 LPs on that. Okay, back up to the top, we had, let me see what we had. David Bowie, 37, 37, 38, 40, 42. James Bragg put SC, that's Sheryl Crow. Sell that to James Bragg for $24.99. That's not price, Tanner. And we have Bryce Culver was first to Fleetwood Mac, and that was $99.99. Brian Arrigo bid $47 on David Bowie. Cynthia, you were second on Fleetwood Mac. Zach was third. Joe Maynard second on Sheryl Crow. Nick Bargeron third. New arrivals. This is Jack the Lad, Rough Diamonds. Jack the Lad is a 1975 UK import British folk rock. British folk rock, $24.99. Cynthia's at 55 on David Bowie. John Phillips has a promotional copy not for sale. John Phillips from Mamas and Papas. A white label promo. John Phillips, the Wolf King of LA, $39.99. All right, no bid on ELP if anybody wants it. First come, first serve. $40 buy it now. Let's not let the streak end. This is the best of Emerson, Lake and Palmer for a $40 buy it now. I love Emerson, Lake and Palmer. $40 buy it now on that. That's the best of a pristine Japanese pressing. If anybody wants it, I'm putting it right over here. Actually, before I get too deep in this crate, let me show you another handful of books I have prepared for you. We've sold almost all of them so far. This is the Beatles, Life in Pictures. It's a small hardback book, $9.99. The Beatles, Life in Pictures, another small, really cool hardback book, $9.99. This is actually a vintage Dale paperback, The Beatles Illustrated Lyrics. This is from let me get the copyright date on it. This is from the price, by the way, is $14.99. This is from 1975. 1975, The Beatles Lyrics Illustrated. The centerfold has some lyrics. That does have some loose pages, by the way. $14.99. Loose pages, vintage paperback, $14.99. Elvis, a biography by Jerry Hopkins, $6.99. Elvis, vintage paperback. This book looked pretty desirable based on comps. $14.99. The last sold was for $19 plus shipping on eBay. This is the Beatles Complete Discography, and this is a complete encyclopedia of every recorded material from 1961 to the present day. That is incredible. That is a lot of information. $14.99 on that Beatles book. And another vintage here. This is Lennon Remembers. And this is another paperback, I think from the 70s. 1971, Lennon Remembers, $6.99. Brent Robley got the Emerson, Lake and Palmer for $40. Brian Arrigo is back in on the David Bowie for $60. Brian Arrigo has that for $60. Cynthia is out, so that's now going twice, going 3 times. The Beatles Illustrated, can you show us a few page illustration? Actually, I don't think it has, Stacy wants the John Lennon book. That's sold to Stacy. It says illustrated. I think it's like pictures. I don't think it's like illustrated lyrics. I do have a Beatles book in my collection that's like illustrated lyrics. It's like where somebody's drew a picture of the song, if that makes sense. But these are just actual pictures of the Beatles. There's where they was down in the Bahamas. There they are, more shot. They spent a lot of time down in the Bahamas recording Help. Wembley. And yeah, that's $14.99. The centerfold, the actual pictures are a little loose in there. Okay, next is let's see here. Stacy got the linen. Christopher Morris wants the Beatles' complete discography. That's sold to Christopher Morris. Jack Suslak was second, Jetstream Pass. And, okay, so that leaves the Beatles' Life and Pictures, the Elvis, and the Beatles' Illustrated Lyrics. Those are all still available if anybody wants them. Okay, let me get back to the bin, not before I grab our next two auctions. Guess what? It's going to be another David Bowie record, and it's going to be, let me show this, let me show another autographed Todd Rundgren, and I know we sold one earlier for like $150. This one's actually personalized. So David Bowie is sold for $60 Tanner to Brian Arrigo. That's sold to Brian Arrigo for $60. And this is Todd Rundgren autographed. Here's another copy just like the other one. Unfortunately, this one says to Dale. He did personalize it. He says best always. There are ways, there are people who are specialized that know how to remove this. It's probably, I don't know if you want to pay what they would charge, but there are people who specialize in removing these personalizations on these autographs. So it just says best always Todd Rundgren. But I'm going to start this one at just $35 because it's personalized. To Dale, best always Todd Rundgren. We sold the other one earlier that just had Todd Rundgren. He didn't date this, but it was sold at it was autographed at the same exact time and place, 2007 in Pittsburgh. $35 start on that. If anything, that's a nice copy. This is a very interesting record here. This is a 2004 German unofficial. Now, Record Store Day reissued this at some point. This is not the Record Store Day. This is a reproduction of a German release of this album. By the way, it's a $35 start. $35 start. And in Germany, this album came out, it looked like this. The German release of David Bowie, The Man Who Sold the World, it looks just like this. It's about a $1,000 record. If you look it up on Discogs, a nice clean copy is about $1,000 all day long. This is a reproduction bootleg of that album that has that's a picture disc. It's a picture disc. It's really high quality. People were saying it's much better than the Record Store Day version. The Record Store Day version doesn't have this Mercury logo right up here. So very cool. It's actually like dead mint, brand new. This is David Bowie, The Man Who Sold the World. That's the full album. You can listen to it and everything, of course. From 2004, that's a German unofficial. Also a $35 start on that. And like I said, that's a bootleg of the cover that looks like the original German version. I've never seen that before. That's a very rare album. Sells for at least $1,000. Okay, back to the bin. The Bengals Manic Monday was earlier. Wade, we haven't hardly sold any Kiss stuff tonight. Gypsy, Travis Tritt is on deck. Gypsy is $49.99. Stevie Wonder Musicarium is still available, David. $45 buy it now. 1970 Pittman Preston of Gypsy, $49.99. Iguana, well, that's an interesting looking one. Iguana is also on a promo label, $49.99. You can expect some odd stuff when you're here with Paul Crate. Iguana, self-titled, $49.99. So Todd Rundgren, the Todd Rundgren autograph is at $35. David Bowie, $35, $35, $35, $40, $40, $45, and $50. James Lade. James Lade is a 2015 remaster, sealed, $59.99. Sealed for $59.99. Public Enemy, What You Gonna Do When the Grind Goes Down. Public Enemy is sealed for $29.99. And the Black Eyed Peas. The Black Eyed Peas, I don't know if I've ever seen any of their stuff on vinyl. $99.99 sealed. The Black Eyed Peas, $99.99. Paul's a fan, or Colin's a fan of Paul Crates because Colin buys odd and unusual records, and that's what Paul usually prices. John will put out your collection essentials. He's going to put out your classic rock, your Fleetwood Macs, your Kansas, the stuff, the best sellers of all time. And Paul's going to put out stuff that we don't see too often. Both actually sell very equally. People need a little bit of both. I'm going to mute my mic for 1 second so I can chug some water. So I'm going to go on mute for about 15 seconds. Okay, I feel refreshed. I might have to do that here in a minute. in just a second. Okay, so James Bragg gets the Public Enemy. That's sold to James Bragg. David Bowie is at 70. Stephen Freyu wants James. That's sold to Stephen Freyu. David Bowie's at 75. David Bowie 85. Stephen says put back James. And we have David Bowie 95. All right, so the Todd Rundgren Something Anything final call for $35. I'm about to sell that. And the David Bowie picture disc is at 95. Okay, we have Madam versus Benny Mays. Deep Chemical Remix, Limit Remix. That is $14.99. James Lade is sealed, $59.99. 2015 remaster, EU import. Femi Kuti, Africa for Africa, $34.99. Fringe Benefit, $14.99. Leon and Mary Russell, Make Love to the Music, $19.99. The Chambers Brothers, Right Move. I don't think I've ever seen that Chambers Brothers album. Sealed. It is sealed, $21.99. Donna Summer, A Love Trilogy, $9.99. Todd Rundgren is sold. Autographed Todd Rundgren for $35. Evan gets that for $35. $150 if it doesn't say to Dale. $35 if it does say to Dale. Big difference. If you're ever going to have something autographed to resell, tell the celebrity not to put your name on it. Huge difference in price. David Bowie, let me get back down to the bottom. David Bowie, 95. Let's see here. Jackie Reynolds wants DS. Jackie Reynolds wants DS. We have Marvin Gaye's #1 hits. That's a Target. Translucent Purple, $29.99. All of Marvin Gaye's #1s, $29.99. David Bowie's at 95 of James Bragg, final call. We have Rings of Saturn, get 'em. Rings of Saturn, that's on orange vinyl, $29.99. That's a nice orange. Water equals the Hot Mountain Dew. Actually, it is water. And like I said, I'm going to mute the mic again and try to finish the rest of it. Almost. I got a third of it left. Okay, where are we at? We've got Barry B.B. Coleman, Nothing But the Blues, $24.99. We need a new auction. We definitely need a new auction. Let's do one of the last Grateful Deads I think I have for tonight. This is Grateful Dead, Anthem of the Sun. It's a 70s reissue, Burbank label, VG Plus vinyl, $20 start. I've cleaned it. I've looked at it. I actually listened to side 1. Sounds really good. VG Plus overall, though. There's the original standard generic inner sleeve, and this is Grateful Dead, Anthem of the Sun. Not a bad copy to have until you can upgrade. $20 start on that. And I think we're done on David Bowie. That is sold to James Bragg for $95. No one else bid, and also no one else really said out, but that is gone. One David Bowie gone. Another one comes up. This is a 1979 U.S. unofficial EX Plus on the vinyl. It is from November 18th, 1978 at the Cricket Grounds in Melbourne, Australia. $35 start. This is called David Bowie, Kiss You in the Rain. Kiss You in the Rain. That's a live David Bowie, unofficial from the United States, of course. Unofficial, November 18th, 1978, Melbourne, Australia, Cricket Grounds. $35 start. Jake Zerbel's in on the Grateful Dead at 70. All right, those are our next two auctions. We have The Clash, Cut the Crap, $39.99 for The Clash, Cut the Crap. The World of Elvis, Armed Forces Network radio interview, Frankfurt, West Germany, 1960. That's a very cool picture disc. That is $74.99. A rare 1993 picture disc, $74.99. David Bowie, 35. Grateful Dead, 25. David Bowie, 35. David Bowie, 40. Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention, a mono UK import compilation. Frank Zappa is $29.99. Circa Survive, Blue Sky Noise, that is sealed, $89.99. And original 2010 on blue vinyl, $89.99. Circa Survive. Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers, Kyoto. Art Blakey is also sealed. Looks like there's some cover damage up here. Looks like it got creased a couple times, but it is sealed, $34.99. Grateful Dead, 25. David Bowie, 35. David Bowie, 40. David Bowie, 45. This is Grateful Dead. Was that 70 or 20? Grateful Dead is at $25 right now. Frank Zappa is sold to Brian C. James Bragg is at 51 on David Bowie. Sean Netzel would love to win the lottery and buy Circa Survive. Toby Graham gets Art Blakey. David Bowie is at 55. Jake Zerbel's at 30 on Grateful Dead. Art Blakey has already sold. David asked the pressing for it. John Anderson, Oasis of Sun Willow, 1999. Also, I need to put Travis Tritt on deck. I wonder if Misty's still watching. Also have some stuff here for Buy It Now I need to slip in. I got some sealed and I got some Japanese stuff that are priced individually. Let me mark, those are marked. Let me go ahead and just slip those down the bin. That way I know how many auctions I actually do have left. Let me just slip these down in the bin. Those will be coming up next. And so here's what we're going to do. I've got 2 more Todd Rundgren autographs. Same price. These are just like first come, first serve. $35 Buy It Nows. And then you can pick which one you want, or you can have both of them. 2 more. Look at this one. It's huge. It says 2 Dale and an original Todd Rundgren. That's on Faithful. That's on Todd Rundgren Faithful. And Todd Rundgren Runt says 2 Dale. Now, this one's kind of glossy. That one you may could do some surgery on and take that off. You probably can still see a little bit of it, but like if you're going to have it displayed or something, some of these you might actually can work on. And that one's awfully big, and it's more of like a cardboard. But the glossy covers, you can probably take alcohol and like work on that. I don't know if you want to, might want to not want to smear it too bad, but those are $35 Buy It Nows. Those are autographed by Todd Rundgren. Okay, so David Bowie, 61. Misty says she's here. Cynthia wants CS. That's Circa Survive. That's sold to Cynthia Herdren. Cynthia's out on David Bowie. Chris Bjack says he's going to take the Todd Rundgren Runt, and that is a $35 Buy It Now. Oh, that's not Runt. This is Runt. This is sold to Chris Bjack. And if anybody wants Faithful, that's one of my last Todd Rundgren autographs. Pretty cool. 2 Dale and original Todd Rundgren. That's Faithful. That's a $35 Buy It Now if anyone wants it, if anybody wants it. Okay. $35 on that. Let's do some final calls. James Bragg has David Bowie for 61. Jake Zerbel has Grateful Dead for 30. VG Plus copy of Anthem of the Sun. Jake Zerbel has that for 30. Going twice, going 3 times. David Bowie's at 61 with James Bragg going twice, going 3 times. Next is Bruce Springsteen. This is sealed. It's a U.S. import, or it's a Japanese import from the United States. So it's a U.S. pressing sealed, but look, it has a yen price tag. This is sealed, and this was from Japan, $39.99. Bruce Springsteen sealed, $39.99. Jerry, we do not have War Paint. That's on back order. I don't know when they're coming back in officially, but it's on back order. The Best of Leon. This is EX condition. The Best of Leon Russell, $14.99. I actually played that and cleaned it last night. And Journey Escape, a Japanese pressing. Top quality Japanese pressing, no obi, $29.99. Journey Escape, beautiful vinyl, $29.99 on that. New bid on David Bowie. James Bragg, you're out. He's right back in. James Bragg has that at 71. Barry Seagrave bid 65. Chris Bjack's going to take the Leon Russell. That's sold to Chris. Corey Gaston was second. I got 2 of them. We have 2 Japanese pressings of Journey Escape. Wow. Got back to back. So if 2 people want one, we've got something for everybody. Pat Benatar, another Japanese pressing, Live from Earth, $29.99. Live from Earth, another pristine Japanese pressing. They're still bidding on David Bowie, and I've already done a final call on the Grateful Dead. I'm about to pick it up and end it. Gentle Giant, freehand, back to, I think, some of the stuff that Paul priced. Gentle Giant is $19.99. Gentle Giant, $19.99, excuse me. And the Wallace Collection, is that what that says? The Wallace Collection, $19.99. That looks like an interesting album. Green Target label, $19.99. Bryce Culver says he'll take the Japanese Pat Benatar. That's sold to Bryce Culver. And Jetstream says, you missed me taking John Anderson. I did. Jetstream wants J.A., John Anderson, the Oasis of Sun Willow. Let me go ahead and tag that for Jetstream. Done. And let me make sure I didn't miss anything else in there. JL, LR, LR. We already took care of that. PB. And let's sell Grateful Dead. Jake Zerbel gets the Grateful Dead for $30. They're still bidding on David Bowie. James Bragg's at 81. James Bragg's at 81. Magic Sam Blues Band, West Side Soul. Magic Sam is $49.99. Early reissue. Paul has put a note on here. Incredible. Incredible. $49.99. $49.99. Journey was $29. I should say just $29.99. Japanese pressing. If these have an obi with it, they're like $65. We auctioned some as high as $75 before. $29.99. No obi. That little strip of paper is worth a lot though. Toto. This is Toto 1999. Toto's 1999 with hop sticker. Hold the line. That is a Holland press. Holland for $19.99. Barry Seagrave, let me know if you're out on David Bowie. If you are, I'm going to go ahead and probably let that roll to James Bragg. Our next auction is Fleetwood Mac, Tango in the Night. An original 1987 club copy, $35 start, Tango in the Night. For some reason, this one just don't come through as often as the other Fleetwood Mac albums, even though it's just as popular. $35 start, VG plus cover, has several hits on it. That's an 87 club copy of Tango in the Night. Cynthia is in very quickly at 35. James has already bid 101 on David Bowie. Miko, The Wizard of Oz. That is $19.99. Miko, The Wizard of Oz. Wild looking cover here. This is Greenwich Village. Albert Ayler. Greenwich Village, $34.99. A 1989 US press. Unbelievably good free jazz album is what Paul has on here. I could tell from the cover that's going to be good. You see a cover like that, that's going to be good. $34.99. Barry's out on David Bowie. Final call, James Bragg 101. Thomas Hujar wants Magic Sam. Cynthia's at 35 on Fleetwood Mac. Going twice, going three times. Let me show you a few more books right quick. We have John Lennon, The Life by Philip Norman. This is a pretty definite biography of John Lennon. Hardback, $9.99. This is called Hot Wax. Hot Wax, $6.99. I think it's information and blurbs. I think it's track listings and informations about fairly new releases. Hot Wax, Supplement 5. Yeah, I think that's like something that would have been at a record store. Rock Quiz, brain teasers for the Rock and Roll Know-It-All, based on the Rock Quiz radio show. Let's see here. Which British singer failed in an early attempt to get a hit with a Beatles song, but gained international success 2 years later with a different Beatles tune? Joe Cocker? That's my guess. I don't know. I think that's Joe Cocker. Rock Quiz, that's $6.99. We have three more hardback books here. This is Clapton, the autobiography, $9.99. The Beatles illustrated biography, $9.99. The Beatles, $9.99. And Jimmy Buffett. Jimmy Buffett, this is called The Man from Margaritaville Revealed. Jimmy Buffett hardback, $14.99. $14.99. Okay, back up to the top. We pulled Magic Sam. Larry Underhill's going to get the John Lennon book. Yeah, I've always heard that that's like the definite biography. I hate to see it go, but I was just telling Seth before the show started, I need like 3 more lifetimes to read all these books that I want to read. I ordered 2 more off Amazon yesterday, stuff that's been recently released, and I don't know when I'm going to find time to read them. I guess I'm just going to have to try to stay up 24/7. Larry Underhill got that. Stacy put HW. She wants the Hot Wax book. That's so does Stacy. Price on Ayler. Colin Butler, Ayler was $34.99. Stacy got Hot Wax. Denise is at $40 on Fleetwood Mac. David Hoy is going to get the Albert Ayler unless Colin Butler wants it. I'm going to lay that right there. So if he passes, then that's sold to David Hoy. Pete is second on the Lennon book. Sherry Darnell gets the Jimmy Buffett book. Carlene was second. Pete Weisgarber wants the Beatles illustrations. Fleetwood Mac's at 45. Colin passes, so that goes to David Hoy. Did I show these yet? Eric Clapton. Eric Clapton is $9.99. $9.99. Eric Clapton, the autobiography. That's another one I've always wanted to read. And Rock Quiz. I wonder what the answer was to that question I read. I'm kind of curious now. What was that at? 40. It was 70. 71. Is the answers in the back? 71. Joe Cocker. That's what I was thinking about with a little help from my friends. That was a whim. David Bowie is sold to James Bragg for $101. That is gone. That is gone. David Hoy got the Albert Ayler. Fleetwood Mac is at 35, 40, and 45, and now 50, and now 60 audiobooks. Yeah, that's what I was, someone said in a podcast I was listening to. Of course, I was listening to a podcast, and they said to read books, you got to read more at least. If you don't have the time, listen to them. So I may have to go to that. I've never listened to a book. I've never done that before. Airwaves, New Day, $14.99. Ron Carter, Yellow and Green. Ron Carter is sealed, $24.99. Billy Cobham's on drums for Ron Carter. And the best of the Chocolate Watch Band. Of course, their albums are very rare and very hard to get. This is a 1983 Rhino compilation, $24.99. $24.99. Time for a new auction. We still got some great stuff over here. The next is a Billy Idol. It's actually a U.S. pressing. This is going to be a $35 start. It's an 83 U.S. Pitman. Billy Idol, Rebel Yell. Shrink wrap, hop sticker, original inner sleeve. The vinyl is EX. Extremely nice. It's from Japan. It came from our Japanese dealer. Shrink wrap. $35 start. That's a very nice copy of Rebel Yell. That's now up for bid. Shrink wrap, hop sticker, original inner sleeve. Fleetwood Mac was at 60. Fred Carnell wants Chocolate Watch Band. David Hoy wants the Ron Carter. Fleetwood Mac 65, Fleetwood Mac 75, and Billy Idol 45. I need to read another random something another in here and see who can get it first. Which hard rock and heavy metal singer is such a versatile songwriter that two of his songs have been recorded by Bette Midler? Now that one I don't know. Hard rock and heavy metal singer, versatile songwriter, two of his songs have been recorded by Bette Midler. First one to answer that gets a prize. Sherry Darnell gets the Eric Clapton book. That's sold to Sherry Darnell. And how much was the Marvin Gaye? I'm about to go back through that one more. Was there two Billy Idol covers, or was that the inner sleeve? That was the inner sleeve. That was the inner sleeve. That was the inner sleeve. Okay. All right. Let's go through this one more time. We have Jack the Lad, Rough Diamonds, $24.99 for Jack the Lad, Rough Diamonds. John Phillips, White Label Promo, $39.99. Gypsy is $49.99. Gypsy. Iguana is $49.99. That's on a promo label. And we have the Black Eyed Peas, sealed, $99.99, 2016 Euro import, the Black Eyed Peas. And Madam versus Benny Mays, Deep Chemical Remix and Limit Remix, that was $14.99. James Lade was sealed, $59.99. And Femi Kuti, Africa for Africa, $34.99. I got to step right over here behind the counter. I actually do have a free prize. I'm going to look through these. There's a book over here that I didn't price because it was originally free. It's like a sampler of all these biographies, and I was actually going to give it to somebody. And I was going to read off a couple of these. We might just have to keep this quiz book and randomly ask questions for prizes later. So, or throughout the weeks and months that we do these shows. I hadn't got to Marvin Gaye yet, but first we have an update on our auctions. First we have an update on our auctions. Fleetwood Mac was 50, 60, 65. Nick Bargeron was at 45 on Billy Idol. Nick Bargeron was at 45 on Billy Idol. Fleetwood Mac 75. Sherry got the Clapton. Let me just find that Marvin Gaye. Marvin Gaye for John Smetzer. That was sealed, $29.99. Purple vinyl from Target, $29.99. We had Dio, Alice Cooper. Those are answers for the quiz. Fleetwood Mac 80, Sammy Hagar. Fleetwood Mac 90, Mick Jagger. Ron Halford, Ozzy, David Coverdale. Let's see here. Please put back Contact, Man on the Moon Monday. I already have it. Jetstream needs to put back the Walter Cronkite record. Fleetwood Mac 95, Fleetwood Mac 105, D. Snyder, Sammy Hagar, and John Smetzer says he'll take it. All right, now I got to find where that question was. I need to mark those pages. I think everybody's got their answers in. Where was that? I need to remember what number it was before I had a picture. It actually had a picture of Bette Midler there. I have to find it. There it is. 96. Tanner thought those were claims. No, those were answers. The correct answer to that question is Sammy Hagar. I'll have to see who's first. Okay, Fleetwood Mac's at 110. We had Fringe Benefit, $14.99. Fringe Benefit, Leon and Mary Russell. This is $19.99. Make Love to the Music. The Chambers Brothers, The Right Move. Seal, $21.99. We have Rings of Saturn, Get 'Em. That's on orange vinyl, $29.99. Gary B.B. Coleman, Nothing But the Blues, $24.99 for that. The Clash, Cut the Crap, $39.99. The World of Elvis, a rare 1993 picture disc, $74.99. Bruce Springsteen, Sealed. It's a U.S. pressing from Japan, $39.99. Denise is at 110 on Fleetwood Mac. That's a final call. Nick Bargeron gets the Billy Idol for $45. That's sold. Nick Bargeron. Jeff McIntosh was the correct winner of the trivia question. Journey Escape is $29.99. He was first and correct. 2 copies of Journey Escape, $29.99. Gentle Giant Freehand, $19.99. Gentle Giant Freehand. Village Collection, $19.99. Toto, a Holland Press of Hold the Line, $19.99. Airwaves and Miko, the Wizard of Oz. Those were $19 and $14.99. Fleetwood Mac is sold for $110. Okay, now let's bring up a new crate. I've got 2 more crates of new vintage stuff to go through. It's 10 o'clock. We should have time to at least go through 1 more of those before I do some kind of big recap for the rest of the night, and we got a few more really good auctions. Let me do some crate condensing here so I don't have as many records stacked up. If you decide you want something else out of that bin, just let me know. I've got it condensed over here with another, but I have stuff laying everywhere. First is some on-sale box sets and some other new books, and before we get started on that, I have got to put up a few more auctions. So Fleetwood Mac is, what Fleetwood, that was Tango in the Night. It's already gone. Our next 2 auctions is, finally, I can do the Travis Tritt. The Travis Tritt. Sometimes I slip up and say something else. But this is a 1990 U.S. club. This record was only released as a club for sure. This was not sold in stores. Travis Tritt Country Club. It is sealed. It is a $155 start. Travis Tritt Country Club. Sealed club. And it was only released as a club. $155 start on that. Kevin Moore says he'll take one of the Journey Japanese Escapes. That's sold to Kevin Moore. Journey Japanese Escapes. I actually have another one of those. They're both pretty much identical if anybody else wants one. And Misty's in. She's been waiting for that for a while. Finally got it up, Misty. And we had a nice copy of this last night. Here's another one. We had a really nice copy in shrink wrap last night. This one looks like the shrink wrap was just taken off of it. The Rolling Stones, Let It Bleed. I hope everybody's paying attention because this is another really nice looking copy here. This also has NPS-4 on the label. PRC pressing. Beautiful vinyl. $35 start. The classic album, Let It Bleed. It also has the original inner sleeve. So it has a generic inner sleeve, but it also has another original inner sleeve. $35 start, especially if you missed out on the other one. Midnight Rambler, Monkey Man, Gimme Shelter, of course, and you can't always get what you want. Sometimes you get what you need. Rolling Stones is a $35 start. All right, so I got some on-sale box sets. First, Soundgarden. The on-sale price is $168.99. This is Soundgarden, live from the Artist Inn. This is the Super Deluxe. This is the Super Deluxe that has 4 LPs, 2 CDs, Blu-ray, concert film. It has replicas of, 40-page book, 4 band member lithos, of course, including Chris Cornell, replica ticket stub, and replica all-access artist pass. That was originally $224.99. That's Soundgarden, live from the Artist Inn. Chris Cornell, of course, $168.99. This is now 20% off. Genesis, The Last Domino. This is a 4 LP, 180-gram Genesis Greatest Hits. 4 LPs. It's like in a hardback book, and then there's 2 gatefold jackets inside of that. 20% off, $79.99. That's almost been here a year. We originally put that back out on December 29th of last year. These are $50 off. Jimi Hendrix Electric Ladyland, $50 off. Electric Ladyland, 6 LPs for just $99.99. This is Electric Ladyland, the Super Deluxe. 6 LPs, Blu-ray, also includes a 48-page book. and it's pressed at QRP. That's very, very nice. Once again, another Jimi Hendrix record that is a great deal, $99.99. I actually have 2 of those in stock. So Soundgarden, Genesis, Jimi Hendrix, and then here's some new books. We have Elvis, His Life and Music. Elvis is $14.99. Hardback book, His Life and Music, $14.99. By the way, Travis Tritt's at $160, now $165, and the Rolling Stones is at $30 and now $40. This is actually vinyl here. This is called Chris Ray Presents The Return of the Fabulous Hofner Blue Notes. This is 2 10-inch and 2 7-inch and a book that is sealed. Does have a tear back here. $24.99. Chris Ray Presents The Fabulous Hofner Blue Notes. I'm going to show these at the same time for any Grateful Dead fans watching. These are like the essential Grateful Dead books, evidently. This is the Deadheads Tapping Companion, what does this say? Compendium. I feel like I'm really butchering that. But this is volume 1 and volume 2. I thought it read something else earlier when I was looking it up. But this is pretty much an in-depth guide to the Grateful Dead. That's volume 1. This is an amazing amount of information. I just think when I see stuff like this, I'm like, holy moly, somebody sat down and put all this together. Just incredible. And then here's volume 2. $24.99 and $34.99. The Dead, and I'm not for sure the correct pronunciation of that. My caffeine's wearing out for sure. But look at all this information. Just incredible. And that looks like something a Grateful Dead fan would definitely accumulate. $24 and $34.99 on that if anybody wants them. Is Electric Ladyland numbered? They usually are. Yes, they're numbered. They're numbered right here. They're sealed. $99.99. The Rolling Stones does not have the poster. And I have one more book. This is sealed, actually, new. The Rolling Stones, A Life on the Road, $24.99. The Rolling Stones, A Life on the Road, $24.99. James Bragg says he'll take the Grateful Dead books. Tanner, those are stickered. Those are sold to James Bragg and James Bragg. The Stones book is sealed, A Life on the Road, $24.99. So let me put that back in there. Whoop, not before I tag it for Sherry Darnell. The Stones book is sold to Sherry Darnell, Pamela Yeager 2nd, Stacey Minnich 3rd. So we still have Chris Ray, Return of the Fabulous Hofner Blue Notes, Elvis, His Life and Music. Those are $24 and $14.99. I still got both Electric Ladyland Super Deluxes for $99.99, $50 off on sale. Genesis The Last Domino, $79.99, 20% off, $20 off. And then the Soundgarden box set, which is essentially $30, $55, $56 off. $56 off Soundgarden Songs from the Artist In. I got to do a final call. Mike Post, let me know if you're in or out on Travis Tritt, because Misty has that for $165 and Kevin Moore has the Rolling Stones for $40. Kevin Moore has the Rolling Stones for $40. What a great night for you record buyers. We've had some great stuff. I've still got a few more auctions, and I've got at least one more full crate of new vintage arrivals. At least one more full crate. We might knock out the other. If not, we'll save it for tomorrow like we did last night. Last night we had 2 whole crates we didn't even get to, which we've already shown those tonight. But I'm going to go through these one more time. Or actually, these have never even gone through before. And I'm about to sell these 2 auctions and put up 2 more. Brubeck and Amsterdam, the Dave Brubeck Quartet. Never had that one before, nor have I ever seen it. $19.99 on Brubeck and Amsterdam. That's on the Columbia 2i label. $19.99. Gary Moore, Still Got the Blues. Gary Moore is $19.99. There's Jimi Hendrix. He's got a big poster of him on his wall. $19.99. And we also have Mule Skinner, Richard Green, David Grissom, Bill Keith, a potpourri of Bluegrass Jam, $19.99. Travis Tritt. Oh, Mike Post already said he's out. We could have sold that a while back. Misty gets that for $165. I don't know the exact pressing. I just pulled this out of a bin. I didn't get to research this myself, but it's a blue London label. It has the original inner sleeve, and the vinyl's beautiful, and that's at a final call at $40. I think it's an older press, just like we had last night. We had another one just like this last night. Kevin Moore has it for $40. I am about to sell it. But John Leo, I can't exactly confirm. I didn't get to do the research on that one myself. Fred Carnell got the... Did I already pull that? Gary Moore. Yep. Gary Moore. That's sold to Fred Carnell. Jetstream was 2nd. Mother's Finest Live. That's in shrink wrap. Mother's Finest Live in shrink wrap. $19.99. Shake and Push, the Morels, $19.99. That's some stuff from Pittsburgh. Shake and Push, the Morels. Mr. B, Shining the Pearls, $19.99. Mr. B, Shining the Pearls. Ella Mae Morse, The Hits of Freddie Slack, $19.99. Ella Mae Morse. And the Fabulous Paul Blah Quintet, $29.99. John Leal's in on the Rolling Stones at $42. You came in just at the right time. I've got a couple more Japanese auctions we have not got to tonight. The first one is the Alan Parsons Project. This is a 1982 Japanese pressing. This is going to be a $45 start. It is absolutely dead mint. The Eye in the Sky, Alan Parsons Project, $45 start. Beautiful near mint minus Japanese vinyl. 2 new bidders on the Rolling Stones. I was about to say, last night we bid on that for a while. I can't remember where it ended up. The other one was in shrink wrap, but this one, the cover looks like the shrink wrap was just taken off of it. Alan Parsons has the original Japanese insert. Amazing cover with Obi, absolutely near mint all the way around. We have 42 on the Stones, 45 on the Stones, 46 on the Stones, and 48 on the Stones. Frank Zappa, We're Only in It for the Money, The Mothers of Invention, $64.99. Very nice copy. 1968 Verve MGM press. The Rolling Stones, 42, 45, 46, 48. Blues Magoos, Never Going Back to Georgia. Blues Magoos is $24.99. The Rolling Stones, Emotional Rescue. It's been a while since we've had a poster in one of these. This one don't have the poster either, but I'm just saying. It's been a while. $34.99. Bruce Willis, The Return of Bruno. Bruce Willis is in shrink wrap. Original inner sleeve, $24.99 for Bruce Willis. The Return of Bruno. The Very Best of Cher. The Very Best of Cher, $14.99. Very Best of Cher. Also, The Clash, Combat Rock. There is a little bit of cover damage up here, but this is a 1982 first label. 1982 first label, $49.99. Very, very nice vinyl too. Does have a little bit of cover damage and a stain right there, $49.99. The Stones is at $48. I'm looking for $45 on Alan Parsons Project. Final call before I make that a buy now. Final call on that. Billy Joel, Songs in the Attic. Billy Joel was $14.99 for Songs in the Attic. Weather Report, Heavy Weather. That's in shrink wrap for $34.99. The Weather Report, Heavy Weather, $34.99. Dead or Alive, Brand New Lover. Dead or Alive is $9.99. Robert Plant, The Principles of Moments. That's a very nice looking copy. Also has an original inner sleeve. Has 2 big hits. You know it. In the Mood and Big Log, $19.99 on that. Dice, Andrew Dice Clay, $39.99. That's in shrink wrap. Warning, this album is offensive. That's on Deaf American Records, $39.99. Andrew Dice Clay. I think I've had people ask about that before. First time I've actually seen one. Youngbloods, featuring Lil Jon, $16.99. James Bragg gets the Robert Plant. David Chilcote was second. And Heavy D, The Waterbed Hev. Heavy D, that's $19.99. All right, the Stones is sold to John Leal for $48. Nobody else really said out on that, but we got to sell it. And if anybody wants the Alan Parsons Project, also featuring the Chicago Bulls starting lineup theme song known as Cirrus, which goes right into Eye in the Sky, this is a $45 buy it now, and it's sold to David Chilcote. Sold to David Chilcote. $45 buy it now. Next auction is a Tom Petty, Into the Great Wide Open. And we have a Peter Gabriel, Rain on the Car album. The first is Peter Gabriel. This is a 1979 original Japanese pressing. This is a $45 start. It's OG and it has the lyric insert. This is a $45 start. Peter Gabriel, self-titled, Salisbury Hill. There's the LP. There's the original Japanese lyric insert. There's the cover and Obi. $45 start on Peter Gabriel. Very nice and pristine Japanese pressing. The Tom Petty is a 1991, actually pressed in Germany, 1991 Europe. This is EX Plus. Very, very nice copy at EX Plus. A German press from Europe. Very tough to get originals of any of this. Very, very nice copy. Tom Petty. Some may say this is near mint minus. It's very nice. It has the original inner sleeve. This is a $75 start. Into the Great Wide Open. Tom Petty, Into the Great Wide Open. Shane Devers wants the Andrew Dice Clay. So there's our next 2 auctions. Peter Gabriel and Tom Petty. Andrew Dice Clay sold to Shane Devers. We also have Partners in Crime. and this is called Undercover, Partners in Crime, spelled with a K. That is sealed from 1990, 1699. We Got the Rhythm, People's Choice, 1999 for We Got the Rhythm, People's Choice, 1999. Survivor, When Seconds Count. I don't see too many of those. Gold stamp promo, Survivor, $24.99. Don't Stop, Billy Idol, with the poster, $29.99 for Billy Idol. No condition notes. These are all very nice LPs. Nancy Sinatra's Greatest Hits, $34.99 for Nancy Sinatra's Greatest Hits. Extremely nice, $34.99. Marshall Tucker Band, Running Like the Wind, $14.99 for Marshall Tucker Band. And this is WPOP's Pop Explosion, $14.10. I think this is a radio station comp. It is on yellow vinyl, $19.99. WPOP, $19.99. I'm going to mute my mic for 1 second. Why don't everybody let me know where you're watching from? It's getting late. Everybody's getting sleepy. We still got 145 people watching, but everybody's getting awfully sleepy on me. I can tell it. The comments are slowing down. It's getting that time of night. We still got to go back through everything, or at least some of it, do a recap. So I hope you're awake on me. I'm going to mute my mic for 1 second while I take a drink of water. But yeah, let me know where you're watching from. I know we have a lot of new people on here. I'm going to mute my mic for about 10 seconds. And I'm back. Okay, Leslie Holt wants the radio record. This WPOP record right here, that's sold to Leslie Holt. Josh is watching in Crawfordsville, Indiana. Crawfordsville, Indiana. Wow, that's Crawfordsville. I don't know if I could say that fast. Greg Rogers on the Billy Idol. That's so to Greg Rogers. Patty's watching Chicago. John's at the drive-thru at Panda Express. Wow, can you bring me some? That sounds amazing right now. Margaritaville for Sean. Washington State, Naples, Florida, Gordonsville. California, Louisiana, Arizona, Arkansas, Chicago, Ohio, Texas. Garrett says it's still hot in Fort Worth. Wow. It was hot in Florida, too. Kentucky, Alabama, Michigan, go blue. The Netherlands, Mississippi, Hawaii. Wow, Susie's in Hawaii. Georgia, go dogs. All right, let's make these a buy it now. We have Peter Gabriel. This is a $45 buy it now. Peter Gabriel, the Rain on the Car album. And then now Tom Petty is a $75 buy it now. $75 buy now for Tom Petty. That's going to be a deal. John Lill slipped through and got a deal on Tom Petty. Tanner, that's $75 to John Lill. Peter Gabriel is $45. Okay, back to the bin. Bryce Culver gets to Peter Gabriel for $45. Back to the bin. We have Cat Stevens, Catch Bullet 4, $14.99. The Movie Song Album, Tony Bennett. This is in shrink wrap with the Columbia promo stickers, $9.99. James Bragg, you were second on Peter Gabriel. Joan Crawford live, $39.99 for Joan Crawford. Paul McCartney, Tug of War, a U.S. pressing with the original inner sleeve, $24.99. Derek Clark wins. He's watching in the Netherlands. Holland, right? Archie Shepp, Things Have to Change, featuring the voice of Joe Lee Wilson. That was on Seinfeld today. George was asking, what is Holland? And then Jerry was like, what do you mean? It's a region. It's the Netherlands. And then George says, so who are the Dutch? Journey, Raised on Radio, is a 1986 Japanese pressing. This is going to be a $45 start. This is really cool. This is a 1986. I'll show you why it's really cool. Not only is it near mint and pristine, Journey, Raised on Radio. This is a $45 start, but it has an all-purpose backstage pass. That's really cool. Comes with a backstage pass. It has the book with it, and it's in shrink wrap with an Obi and a hop sticker. That's a $45 start. The Alan Jacksons are sold. Yes, the Alan Jacksons are sold. Journey's a $45 start. That's a perfect and pristine copy of Journey, Raised on Radio. Now, one auction that I pulled out long time ago tonight was a very nice copy of the Rolling Stones' Exile on Main Street. the Rolling Stones Exile on Main Street. And this is a 1972 Presswell PR press, Presswell press with all 12 postcards. All 12 postcards. So this is an extremely nice Unipack flip open cover of the Rolling Stones. Original sleeves. John has no condition notes on it, and he told me this was beautiful. I'm going to start it. Wow, it is. Exile on Main Street, an original 72 press with all postcards. These have always been pricey, and I've noticed a trending on the upward scale for these. $55 start. There's the original inner sleeves, EX Plus near mint minus vinyl. Really nice cover, strong spine, very little wear, and it has all the postcards still all connected and unperforated. Well, they are perforated, uncut, I guess I should say. $55 start on that. That is a great copy. $45 start on Journey. Holland is a province. It's called the Netherlands. I think that gets a lot of people confused, but I guess so. That's pretty much the same place. MFSB, Love is the Message, $14.99. MFSB, Love is the Message. Wow, Run DMC, Crown Royal. That's from 2001. 2LP, $24.99 for Run DMC. Never seen that before. The Best of the Blues Brothers, $24.99 for The Best of the Blues Brothers. $24.99 on that. Bob Dylan's Greatest Hits in shrink wrap, a 70s pressing. Very, very nice though. $34.99 for Bob Dylan's Greatest Hits. Dr. Hook, Sometimes You Win. Dr. Hook is sealed, never been opened. $19.99. There's a little bit of a tear in the shrink wrap up here. Rolling Stones, 55, now 57. Stephen Freyu gets Run DMC. Shane Devers was second. James Bragg third. Chris Bijak gets Blues Brothers. Carlene Rollins was second. Chris Frazier's at 60 on the Rolling Stones. He Who Is Without Funk Cast the First Stone. Joe Tex, $19.99. Joe Tex, He Who Is Without Funk Cast the First Stone. $19.99. Rolling Stones is at 63. Alabama, The Closer You Get. This has the hit song, Dixieland Delight. $9.99. $9.99. That has the original inner sleeve. Dixieland Delight. Has the lyric inner sleeve. Pretty cool. $9.99. Rolling Down a Backwoods Tennessee Byway. Most people can recite it from there. $9.99. That's Alabama. That is The Closer You Get. Yes, Fragile. $19.99. Gatefold has the original Atlantic inner sleeve. That is a 4-digit Presswell OG. $19.99. Let's see if it has the book with it. $19.99 for Yes, Fragile. A collection essential. I don't see the book with it. That's actually getting harder to find. Haven't seen one in a long time. $19.99. Rolling Stones, 63. Grant's at 45 on Journey, Final Call. Jacob Harris wants Alabama. John Lills at 68 on the Stones. James Bragg's at 77. Run DMC was $24.99. Yes. Alan Parsons Project, Pyramid, $19.99. Has the lyric insert. $19.99 on Alan Parsons Project. Albert Collins, Frozen Alive. Albert Collins is $34.99. Jimi Hendrix, War Heroes, $34.99 on Jimi Hendrix War Heroes. $34.99 on that. And After 7, My Only Woman. After 7 is sealed from 1990. $12.99. Grant Peltzer, you get the Journey for $45. Tanner, there's a small insert in there, so just FYI. And we have Rolling Stones is at 79. Bryce, I've already sold the Journey. That was up for a while, and I've already done a final call. But that is sold to Grant Peltzer for $45. Sorry about that. Let me see what I've got left in my auction crate. I think everything else in here I really didn't have ready. So let me just revisit that in just a second. I'll come back and revisit those in just a second. We'll keep selling the Stones for right now. And I've got a few more records in this bin to show you. We have James Blood Ulmer, Freelancing. James Blood Ulmer, Freelancing. That was $19.99. High bid on the Rolling Stones right now is $87. Public Enemy sold. One bid, $75. I can't believe it. Hey, there's another Bangles Different Lie. This is a near mint copy in shrink wrap. $29.99. The Bangles Different Lie. And Benny Mardones, Too Much to Lose. That's $9.99. Jetstream wants AP. That's usually Alan Parsons Project, right? That's so the Jetstream. Rolling Stones is at 89. James Bragg's at 101. Y'all are still very close to what John had that originally priced for tonight. So John had that marked. You're getting very close to his sticker price. And, of course, I reduced it, as you see now, and put it up for auction, but I do that a lot. If I see something like the Stones that's stickered, then I'll just go ahead and pull it out and we run it for auction. So, all right, I'm going to read what's left in here. If you want a price, let me know. I'm about to do a big recap. The Bengals Different Light. This does not have an original inner sleeve. It just has a generic white sleeve. It is near mint and shrink wrap, $29.99. So I'm just going to read what's left in here. This was another bin of vinyl. And I'm probably going to show you some stuff back from the very beginning of the show that I can't believe hadn't sold. I do have a whole nother crate of vintage arrivals that's never been shown before, but we may just save those for tomorrow because after we do a recap, I hate to bring out anything new this late when we're going to have a full crowd on tomorrow. So if you're watching fairly new tonight, if you're new and you're watching for the first time, we do this every night. And I know Thursday is metal night, but we have another huge night planned tomorrow as well. Another huge night planned tomorrow as well. So here's what's left in here. We have Brubeck in Amsterdam. If you want a price, just let me know and I'll come right back to it. Brubeck in Amsterdam, Dave Brubeck Quartet, Mule Skinner, Mother's Finest Live, Shake and Push, The Morels, Mr. B, Shining the Pearls, Ella Mae Morse, The Hits of Freddie Slack, The Fabulous Paul Bly Quintet, Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention. If you have any questions, let me know. Blues Magoo's, Never Gone Back to Georgia. The Stones just got a new bid for $113 with Henry's Choice. $113 with Henry's Choice. Bruce Willis, Return of Bruno, The Very Best of Cher. The Clash, Combat Rock, original label, original press. Billy Joel, Songs in the Attic. Weather Report, Heavy Weather. Dead or Alive, Brand New Lover. This was Young Bloods featuring Little John. Heavy D, Waterbed Hev. Partners in Crime. We Got the Rhythm, People's Choice. Survivor, When Seconds Count. Nancy Sinatra's Greatest Hits. Marshall Tucker Band, and Catch a Bullet 4. Right now, the Stones is between Henry's Choice and James Bragg, an original 72 Presswell, complete with all 12 postcards. They've never been separated. And it's EX Plus near it minus. Top copy. Top copy. I guess it's just missing shrink wrap. I've never seen one with a hop sticker. Not everything had a hop sticker, but everything had shrink wrap unless you get into really older records. Tony Bennett, Joan Crawford, Paul McCartney, Archie Shepp, MFSB, Bob Dylan's Greatest Hits. Sherry Darnell says she'll take the share. Sherry Darnell on Cher, The Very Best Cher. I was about to say, Cher's usually not hanging around. Henry's Choice back in at 128. Dr. Hook, Sealed. He Who Is Without Funk Cast the First Stone. Yes, Fragile. Albert Collins, Frozen Alive. Jimi Hendrix, War Heroes. After 7, James Blood Ulmer, Benny Mardones, and there's the Bengals. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go back to earlier in the show and show you some of the stuff from especially new vinyl, and then I've got some of our random deals still laying around. Still laying around, and I think I think pretty much the first 4 crates I went through can all fit into one. It's actually going to be pretty tight, but I think I can get them all into one. That might be the big bin we recap if we do that, or I think actually by the time I show a few more things around here, that might be just about everything. I've got 2, 4. I've already got 5 empty crates, and I'm still working on doing a little bit of condensing. There is that and that. Let me go ahead and put these up here. Scoot these over. I might be huffing and puffing because I'm trying to move these extremely heavy crates of vinyl. Dead or Alive album, and James Bragg 137. Let me figure out Dead or Alive here. Archie Shepp. First, here's Archie Shepp. Can you show Archie Shepp again? This is Archie Shepp, Things Have Got to Change. That's on the ABC Impulse. ABC Impulse. This is Archie Shepp, Things Have Got to Change. 1971, $49.99. No condition notes on the vinyl. It actually looks really, really nice. EX Plus, and the cover is VG or VG Plus. That's $49.99. And now we also had a question on Dead or Alive. I think that was a 12-inch single. Dead or Alive is Brand New Lover. It's a 12-inch single. Yes, it's got 3 versions of that, and In Too Deep Live, $9.99. Yes, the vintage stuff that I recap will be best offer. Is it Nancy Sinatra? Multiple versions of these boots are made for walking. This is Nancy Sinatra's Greatest Hits. It only has one version of These Boots Are Made for Walking. Yeah, it's just her kids comp. $34.99. Dead or Alive has no condition notes on it. The cover is about VG, maybe VG plus. The vinyl is near mint minus. That looks very nice. Let's see, 138 on the Rolling Stones. James Bragg bid 151. The Rolling Stones is at $151. So I'm going to set this over here. So we got 3 crates of vintage left from tonight, not counting this crate that I've only been through once. Or this crate over here that I didn't go through is what I meant. Yeah, this crate over here that I didn't go through. So let me condense these. And we went through 2 crates of new vinyl. That just fit into one. Getting quite the stack here of empty crates, which is good. That's what we want to see. But let me do this first. I always go back to the beginning of the show where we started with new vinyl. And Rolling Stones is at $151. Henry's Choice, if you're done bidding, just let me know. So first is new vinyl, including some new releases and new restocks. The Cure, The Show, Black Vinyl, 2LP, $44.99. I've only got 2 copies of that. Tales from Yesterday, a tribute to Yes. It even has members of Yes like Steve Howe and Peter Banks, $31.99. Henry's Choice is at $152 on the Stones. So James Bragg, you're back out. Rob Zombie, Venomous Rat Regeneration Vendor, $33.99. $33.99 for Rob Zombie. We got several restocks from Oingo Boingo. This is Boingo, $28.99. Limited edition 500 on red and silver marbled vinyl. Boingo is $28.99. We have Jeff Beck, Blow by Blow. Jeff Beck is $31.99. Blow by Blow. Albert King, Born Under a Bad Sign, $36.99. I think Baronis, I hope I'm saying that right. I think it was $33.99, Sean. $33.99. Albert King, Born Under a Bad Sign. Kraft is $36.99. Foreigner, this is called Records, also known as Foreigner's Greatest Hits, $31.99. James Bragg's out on the Stones, so Henry's Choice, you may end up with it. Final Call, Rolling Stones, Exile on Main Street, $152. Final Call. Oingo Boingo, Nothing to Fear, $28.99 for Nothing to Fear, limited edition of 500 brown and white vinyl. I've got 3 copies left of The Who. Who's Next? That's on the Coke bottle clear vinyl, $46.99. Yes, the Baronis was ruby red vinyl. Yes, ruby red vinyl. Jacob Harris wants a Foreigner Records, also known as Foreigner's Greatest Hits. That's so did Jacob Harris. Another Oingo Boingo. This is called Good for Your Soul, $28.99, limited to 500, clear and metallic orange. Pink Floyd. Here's some stuff that were kind of recaps of stuff we had in stock. New vinyl we had in stock. Pink Floyd, Delicate Sound of Thunder, $49.99. AC/DC, The Razor's Edge, $31.99. Funkadelic, $36.99. Rush, Hold Your Fire, $36.99. Savatage, The Wake of Magellan, $56.99. Got 2 of those in stock. David Lee Roth, Skyscraper, $44.99. Friday Music Audiophile. Steely Dan, Can't Buy a Thrill, $36.99. Slipknot, Iowa. Before that was reissued, that was a very expensive album. $300, $400, $500. Slipknot's $36.99. Jailbreak, Thin Lizzy, $36.99. Tenacious D, The Pick of Destiny, $31.99. Whiplash, Ticket to Mayhem, $46.99. And TLC, Crazy, Sexy, Cool, $36.99. All right, Henry's Choice, your persistence paid off, and you get the Rolling Stones for $152, Exile on Main Street. That is sold to you. Now, here's what's left with the Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab CDs. Here's what's left with the Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab CDs. These are all MoFi MFSL CDs. Procol Harum, A Salty Dog, $24.99. Procol Harum, Broken Barricades, $19.99. U2 War, $49.99. And U2 Unforgettable Fire, $44.99. We have an offer for both of these for $80. The sticker price is $95. Let's do $85. Let's do $85. I'll say both of those shake down for $85. The only thing you have to do is say yes. John Mellencamp, The Lonesome Jubilee, $34.99. Rod Stewart, Every Picture Tells a Story, $39.99. Jeff Beck, Truth, that is sealed. Sealed Jeff Beck, that is $69.99. Allman Brothers, Brothers and Sisters, $49.99. The Allman Brothers self-titled, $59.99. And the Eagles self-titled is $49. He said yes. So sell both of those to Shakedown Tanner for $85. Those 2 CDs, $85. So that's what's left. Pro Call, Mellencamp, Stewart, Beck, Almond, and Eagles. Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab CDs. I'm going to stack those right over here. Not many books or publications left that I marked. Let me run through all that one more time because I'm about to put it on a shelf here at the store, and we probably will never show them again. So if you don't want them now, let me know. So here is a stack of books and publications we had left over from tonight. First, probably most recently, The Beatles Lyrics. The Beatles Lyrics Illustrated. That was from 1977, I believe I said. It's a Dale paperback, $14.99. The Beatles Lyrics Illustrated. Elvis, a biography by Jerry Hopkins, $6.99. Life in Pictures, The Beatles. Life in Pictures, The Beatles. That's a mini hardback. Lots of pictures and information. $9.99. And then several DVDs. But before I do that, let me sell Sherry Darnell, the Allman Brothers and Sisters CD. That's sold to Sherry Darnell, $49.99. Sell that to Sherry Darnell, the MoFi CD of that. Few DVDs. This is Taken Woodstock, sealed, $6.99. The Beatles Unauthorized, $6.99. Fun with the Fab Four, $6.99. This is $6.99. All Together Now, a documentary film. Hard Day's Night, sealed, $9.99. Paul McCartney, that's a bootleg DVD, $6.99. And The Beatles Celebration, $6.99. Now, if anybody wants a bundle, since those are all Beatles related except for the Taken Woodstock, if you want a bundle, I'll bundle all those together and give you a discount on those. Movie, TV soundtracks and original cast albums price guide. That's like a vintage movie soundtrack. But like I said, it's a great reference. So you can go here to, let me see something I recognize, or something pretty popular. Well, see if there's one with a lot of versions. Let's see. Conan the Barbarian. So you can go here to Conan the Barbarian. It'll show you the 2 different versions, the 2 catalog numbers, when it was pressed or about when it was pressed. And so, that'll be a great way to, if you're a soundtrack collector. Great reference book there. U2, this is the 33 1/3 mini book about Octung Baby, $8.99. And this is the Top 40 Hits Billboard, the Billboard book of Top 40 Hits, Trivia, Complete Chart Data, Artist, 1955 to present day, which I think this was made sometime in the 80s, 1987. That's $9.99. Okay, next claim was Sherry Darnell wants the Taken Woodstock DVD. That's sold to Sherry Darnell. Taken Woodstock was the new Sabotage record, the name of the band or the album. That is Sabotage. Sabotage, S-A-V-A-T-A-G-E. I may not be getting that out correctly. Sabotage, that was the name of the band. The Wake of Magellan is the name of the album, Sabotage. It sounds like I was probably saying sabotage, like the Black Sabbath album. Okay, now let's very quickly go through a crate of vintage. I may just read titles, and if you need prices, let me know. If you've seen these earlier, I'll take offers. But that was a recap of new vinyl there. And actually, I got one more. I got another box of the box sets that were on sale. I just kind of recently showed these, but kind of a final call on these. This is Soundgarden, on sale, $168.99. Genesis is $79.99. Electric Ladyland's $99.99. The Return of the Fabulous Hofner Blue Notes, that's actually vinyl. That's a vinyl as well. That's not a book. I know it looks like a book. And then Elvis, His Life and Music, that's $14.99. $14.99. Bryce, I will do $8 for The Dead or Alive if you want it. The Hall of the Mountain King is Thursday night. A lot of people have hopped on asking for stuff that they've seen in the Thursday night hot picture. The Thursday night hot picture will be shown on Thursday night. That's Metal Night. And it's going to be even more confusing. I've already got pictures for 2 more posts tomorrow for Thursday night. So I'm used to it by now. People see posts and immediately think they're selling tonight the way we normally do stuff. But those are actually records for future sales. So Sherry Darnell says she'll take the Elvis book. Great. We have definitely sold a lot of books. The very, very last thing I have to show before I start reading titles and doing a recap, Sherry, I got the Elvis book. This is the only Todd Rundgren autograph that I have left that I know of. We sold one for $150. We sold 2 others for $35. My last one, and the only reason these are much cheaper is because they say to Dale, and that's a $35 buy it now if anybody wants it. It's an autographed copy of Faithful, autographed by Todd Rundgren. To Dale, an original Todd R. $35 buy it now. Or maybe even a best offer. I would love to sell it to somebody, especially if your name's Dale. So here's what I'm going to do for this bin. I'm going to read titles, stop me at any time and ask prices, and then it's going to be buy it now, best offer. And this is like 3 or 4 crates condensed into one of stuff left over from tonight. I canceled my business trip to be here Thursday. Wow. Yeah, I bet other people will be doing that too. Taking off from work, canceling plans, missing their son's high school football game. The Who's next? The Who's next? $34.99. Beautiful copy, original Decca press. John Coltrane, Soul Train, Prestige, $71.42. Reissue. Yes, going for the one. Sean's right off the bat, $29.99 on Coltrane. Sell that to Sean for $29.99. Sold. This crate is full. This crate is full. I can't believe, let me show this one more time. This is a Decca pressing of the Who's next, and it is, yeah, it's near mint minus. Getting in Tune, Bob O'Reilly, one of my favorites here, Bargain, Going Mobile, and then of course Behind Blue Eyes and Won't Get Fooled Again. Somebody needs to buy that. Yes, going for the one. That was a promo copy, stamped cover and strip, but no label, so technically not a promo copy. B.B. King in London. B.B. King in London. Elton John, A Single Man. Gary Wright, Touch and Gone. Rest in peace. Molly Hatchet, Beating the Odds. Shrink Wrap and Hop Sticker, $24.99. Ultravox, Vienna. And Marshall Crenshaw, another of his that I don't see as often. Mary Jean and 9 others. Victor's going to go ahead and take the Who. That was $34.99. Chris offered $30 and Brent asked the price. Victor was first to claim it. Sell that to Victor. Now I can sleep tonight. I was losing faith in humanity. Leo Sayer, Just a Boy, Shrink Wrap and Hop Sticker, $12.99. Santana, Amigos, $19.99. Promo strip, near mint minus vinyl, not a promo copy though. Diamond Girl, Seals and Croft, $9.99. These are not check condition. These are very nice copies. The Beatles' second album, featuring She Loves You. Purple Capital label, $26.99. Deep Purple, Perfect Stranger, Shrink Wrap and Hop Sticker, $32.99. Genesis, and then there were 3. Very nice vinyl. There is some damage over here on the spine, $19.99. Keep in mind, you can go ahead and buy these, or you can buy it now. Jack said $25 on Deep Purple. So did Jack Hewitt for $25. Chipmunk Rock, Faith, Hope, and Charity. W.C. Fields. Stephen Stills is actually a white label promo with a promo timing strip. The Best of Stephen Stills by Stephen Stills is sealed. It does have a punch hole, but it is sealed. The Beatles Live at the Star Club, Hamburg, Germany. The Beach Boys MIU album. Edward Bear. The Original Animals, Before We Were So Rudely Interrupted. Free, The Very Best of Free, $24.99, The Very Best of Free. Judy Garland, At Home at the Palace, opening night. Judy Garland Live, that is sealed, $14.99. Tony Bennett's All-Time Greatest Hits, 2 LPs, $19.99. John Porter, The Animals, is $16.99, $16.99. John Lennon, Mind Games. Seals and Croft, Get Closer. Boz Scaggs, My Time. Leo Sayer, Endless Flight. That is sealed. You Make Me Feel Like Dancing. Boz Scaggs, Down Two Then Left. Also a promo copy, $24.99. Let's sell John Porter, The Animals, for $14.99. That's sold to John Porter for $14.99. Kickin' Mules, Flat Picking Guitar Festival, featuring Eric Thompson, David Bromberg, Tom Gilliffin maybe. That is EX, $11.99. Let's sell Greg Rogers Free for $20. Surprised no one got that right off the bat. That's sold to Greg for $20. David Chilcote is going to get Tony Bennett for $15. That's sold to David Chilcote for $15. Savoy Brown, Hellbound Train. We're getting to a Paul crate now. VG, $11.99. Pink Floyd, Uma Guma, a 69 Winchester, VG Plus $39.99. The Rose Garden, Stevie Ray Vaughan, EX Condition, $54.99. Danny Cox, EX $17.99. The Story and the Songs of Heidi. The Who, here's another copy. This one's another Decca pressing. It's not as nice as the other one. It's EX, a few dollars cheaper, $31.99. This is The Who, Who's Next. It's another original label, first label, Decca Color Bars label. That one's an EX edition, but same thing. The other one was just so immaculate. Let me get back to my spot here. Heidi, there's that. We have CCR, Bayou Country, VG Plus $17.99. Mutiny, Funk Plus The One, White Label Promo, VG Plus $19.99. Incense and Peppermints, The Strawberry Alarm Clock, VG Plus $21.99. I can't believe those albums stay laying around like that. I can't believe no one bought this either. When's the last time we've seen this? Months. I don't know if I've had one all year. James Gang, Newborn, EX Condition, $21.99. Let's sell Chris this copy for $25, Chris B. Jack, and let's sell Nick Bargeron CCR for $15. Trio 65, Bill Evans Trio, EX Condition, $59.99. Trio 65, Bill Evans Trio. Jack Bruce, he was the bass player in Cream. Songs for a Tailor, VG Plus $19.99. He had a big solo career, lots of albums. Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, Four-Way Street, live Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, VG Plus $27.99. Do you still have Queen's Rack? Sean, all those records in that picture are going to be sold Thursday night. If you're a new buyer, Thursday night is that picture. We're live right now selling records, but that was everything featured for tonight. We're going to be live again tomorrow, selling even more featured records that I will post in the morning. Thursday's Metal Night. We will have hundreds and hundreds of 80s metal, especially the 80s type of metal like Queensryche, Iron Maiden, Wasp, Quiet Riot, Metallica, that kind of 80s metal. Thursday night starting at 7 o'clock right here on Facebook and YouTube. I hope everybody comes early, and I hope you stay for a while. We'll be live for a good bit. We'll be selling off hundreds of metal records at auction and buy it nows. Brent Robley offered $17 for the James Gang. Let's go ahead and sell that to Brent for $17. Thank you. The Rolling Stones, Made in the Shade. This is a greatest hits cop, VG $14.99. Made in the Shade, VG $14.99. ELO Discovery, EX $17.99. Everybody get ready. You're going to be seeing stuff sell very quickly, lots of bidding. It's going to be a lot for me to keep up with. A lot of people's going to be drooling. A lot of people's going to be in la la land because it's going to be so much overwhelming stuff for auction. Sherry, I'm going to sell you Crosby, Stills, and Nash for $25. Olay ELO, Electric Light Orchestra, VG Plus $14.99. I'm also going to sell David Hoy, the Bill Evans Trio, for $50. Thank you, David. David's coming in as one of our strong jazz buyers now. We had a couple other jazz buyers. David, just don't disappear on us. We have jazz buyers. They'll show up. They'll buy really good jazz titles, and then they'll disappear, and we'll never hear or see from them again. So please don't go missing. Don't go flying near the Bermuda Triangle or anything, because we have lots of jazz. There's no telling what's in the back that we don't put out. Sean's here too. Sean, he did buy the Coltrane album. Sean's a strong jazz buyer too. Sean, you buy everything. You'll buy death metal, jazz, and even Led Zeppelin 1. Chet Atkins, Picks on the Beatles. Chet Atkins is VG Plus $17.99. James Brown, Living in America, VG Plus $14.99. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. This is a 75 press. It has both posters. VG Plus $64.99. Man, these are awesome. I mean, what's vintage Pink Floyd posters worth? I mean, sometimes that's what I think when I see this right here. I'm like, what's a vintage original Pink Floyd poster worth by itself? I think if you had that nicely framed, it should be, I'm talking about nicely framed, what, $100? I have this framed, actually. I found a couple extra posters. You know how sometimes these albums have extras, like they'll have two of something? I had a copy of Dark Side of the Moon. It had two of everything. It had two extra set of stickers. It had two posters. It had two, what else did it come with? I guess it's two posters and two sets of stickers, yeah. So I had 4 posters and whatnot, so Yeah, $64.99. VG Plus on the vinyls, a 75 Winchester. Shakedown said he would give 10 for the James Brown single. Let me find that because we're going to sell it to him. Sell that to Shakedown for 10. Pink Floyd, $64.99. Tape those to the wall. That's what most people did. That's why they're hard to find. Richard Wright should be coming out this week. Yes, it hadn't shipped yet, but it's supposed to be coming out this week. Yes. Bad Company, Desolation Angels, EX $17.99. Bill Cosby, Fat Albert, VG $9.99. We have Brent Robley said he'd give 55 for Pink Floyd. Great deal, especially with both posters in there. That's the way I always look at stuff like that. These albums that have posters, I'm like, man, if we just had, I just remembered, we didn't auction the David Bowie poster. I'll have to do that tomorrow. I am sorry if anybody's been, no one actually said anything though. They would have definitely wanted it if they would see it. I can still sell it. It's awfully late, but I wanted to do that much, much earlier because it's not a cheap poster. Unless we have at least 5 people saying they'll bid, at least commit to the opening bid, which I think is going to be $275. Then I'll put it up. So, but it's fantastic. I mean, y'all should see it. If anything, I can show it, and then we'll sell it tomorrow. Leslie Holt gets the Fat Albert. We have The Doors, Soft Parade. This was a UK pressing. A 69, which is the original release year for this album, UK pressing of the Soft Parade. VG Plus $54.99. Street Action, BTO, VG Plus $9.99. Abbey Road, still available, just $24.99. It is a VG copy, $24.99. Supertramp is EX $17.99. Crosby, Stills, and Nash is $32.99. The classic Neil Young Harvest, VG Plus $29.99. Kate Bush is VG $24.99. And Aerosmith is VG Plus $24.99. Aerosmith's VG Plus $24.99. Yeah, I'll just put David Bowie back in the... No one said anything. I think one person said, Chad, please don't forget to auction the Bowie poster, but then we never did. I knew if I didn't bring it over here, I'd forget about it. I've got it over here behind the counter. And if Randy hadn't reminded me about the MoFi CDs, we forgot about those too, right, Tanner? Did you sell? No, I do have some still left, Scott. I still have some left, but let's not run this tonight, like I said, unless I see several people bid. But once you see, it's a huge poster. It's a 40 by 60. Tanner, do you want to come hold down one side while I kind of try to roll it out? I only wanted to open it once, but just kind of hold down 2 sides there. I'm going to give, I'll pull up the picture tomorrow so I can show you, but just look at the colors on this. This is an original David Bowie. See what I'm talking about? It's huge too, 40 by 60. But we'll run that tomorrow. I wanted y'all to see it live right now. If you can get somebody to frame this and you need a big spot on your music room covered, this is awesome. Let me hold it right there. See, y'all can kind of see it. 40 by 60. And that was from Sunderland Roker Park. And it's rolled. It's not folded. It's rolled. So it's very, very nice. Very, very nice. Yeah. And I don't know if that did it justice or not, but it's a fantastic poster. Fantastic poster. Okay. I was going to get it framed and hang it here in the store, and I don't know. What did I say, $275? I don't know. I kind of really wanted to keep it, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. We'll run it for sure, one way or another, but that's a fantastic poster. Here's what's left on the MoFi CDs. Eagles, $49.99. Allman Brothers, $59.99. Jeff Beck, sealed, never opened, $69.99. Rod Stewart, $39.99. Mellencamp is $34.99. And then 2 Procol Harum, Salty Dog and Broken Barricades. And those were $24 and $19.99. But yeah, I think that's an original David Bowie concert poster from the 80s. I thought that was amazing. So we have, Tanner, is 10,000 exaggeration on how many posters we probably have in the back? That's not an exaggeration, right? No. We have at least 10,000. Tanner says probably more. We have probably over 10,000 posters in the back. And I know y'all probably are like, when are we ever going to see them? It's just so hard to show them here. It's so hard to show them and get them out and photograph them. I don't know what, but I keep buying them too. I mean, we just bought hundreds more on this buying trip. So We have this huge collection of posters in the back, just incredible rock and roll memorabilia. Stuff going all the way back from the 60s through the 90s, autographed. It is quite overwhelming. John Mellencamp is so does Scott Fish. One day I'll try to get everything together and just show you a big video where we got them in tubes and boxes and frames are lined up and stacked, plus all the Kiss. That Kiss collection had over probably 100 posters by itself. So Scott Fish got the John Mellencamp CD. All right. If there'll be nothing else, we're going to stop there for the night. It's almost officially 11 o'clock. I'm going to go find food. I'm going to start pricing stuff for tomorrow. It takes me all night to get these shows ready, plus everybody working here tomorrow during the day. So it takes 2 or 3 people, 5, 8 hours a day to get all these stuff ready for every night for sales every day. So that's it for tonight. We got 3 crates, 2.5 crates of vintage left. Some of the on-sale stuff is still available, but I'll probably make a video and post it later in the group as I usually do. So thanks, everybody. We'll be back. If you're new, we do this every night. We do this every night, 7 o'clock p.m. Tomorrow, fantastic show. It's going to be advertised again. Amazing Pittsburgh. We're going to have new autographs, new bootlegs, new imports, new vintage, new Japanese. Paul will be here tomorrow pricing. Maybe he can get us, if he's listening, maybe 4 or 5 crates, Paul. That would be great. He's like, oh my gosh, I got my pricing gun. I better get to work. And then I'm going to work on more books, CDs, etc., etc. Last sale is going to be Bryce Culver, The Dead or Alive. We've went back and forth over $1. I'm not going to say no anymore. This sold to Bryce Culver for $7. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 o'clock Central Time. All new show. I think I'm going to head to Wendy's and get a big cheeseburger. Sounds good. Actually, my mom has barbecue here, but I'm still going to get Wendy's. Okay, good night, and see y'all tomorrow.